Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Naruto. Wherever Uchiha flies, descendants are born. Chapter 81. Want to know who I am? Ha ha ha, good question. Jiraiya took a deep breath, waved his hands like a joke, and introduced himself loudly. I am the Toad Spirit Shansu Daorin of Myoboku Mountain, commonly known as the Toad Sage, come up. Hehehehe. Naruto was stunned. Sage. Sage, you. This guy must be a big fool. This is the first time Naruto has seen someone more pretentious than himself. That's right, I'm the immortal. Kid, stop eating this kind of stuff. I'll take you to eat something delicious. Really? Yeah, Ichiraku ramen. Eat as much as you want, the kind that's guaranteed to keep you full. Hearing the words Ichiraku ramen, Naruto's eyes suddenly turned into hearts. You said it. Don't go back on your word. Hehe, if I go back on my words to a kid, then I'm not worthy of being an immortal. Turn off the kettle and let's go. Jiraiya was very confident. It was obvious that he didn't know how much Naruto ate, nor did he know how much of a weight loss blow Naruto would cause to his wallet in the near future. Half an hour later, Ichiraku ramen. Naruto sat on a chair and ate noodles crazily. Uncle, another bowl. This was already the 10th bowl. Looking at this posture, Naruto had no intention of stopping at all, and was going to eat all day. Jiraiya turned sideways, looked at the wallet in his pocket, and then looked at the time, with a worried look on his face. He didn't intend to spend all his energy and money here. Why don't you eat? Ahem. Jiraiya coughed awkwardly. I'm not as greedy as you are. Hey, kid, let's go after eating this bowl of noodles, okay? I'll take you to the hot springs. As men, we should be honest with each other, both in attitude and in the body. Slurp. Little Naruto quickly sucked a big mouthful of noodles, chewing and responding, okay, I haven't been to the hot springs yet. Well, then you eat quickly. Oh, but, I want another bowl, hehe. Jiraiya sighed helplessly. Boss, give me another bowl. After eating, Jiraiya led the little Naruto, whose stomach was full, to the nearest hot spring shop. Wow, it's so warm. Naruto popped his head out of the pool, his face flushed, enjoying the bath. Jiraiya was beside Naruto, and after drinking a small cup of sake, he sighed. Sure enough, it's really comfortable to drink a cup of hot spring after a busy day. At this time, tempting laughter suddenly came from next door. It was the voices of girls. Hey, sister, don't make trouble. Ha ha ha, sister, you've developed well, don't block it, let your sister see it. Jiraiya couldn't sit still. The wine in his hand felt tasteless. Plans really can't keep up with changes, kid, I'm afraid I can't accompany you to bathe for the time being. As a novelist, I won't miss any opportunity to collect materials. Before Naruto could react, Jiraiya had already rushed out, lying on the bamboo wall and carefully observing through the gap. Young girls are awesome. Quote. Looking at Jiraiya, who was so dirty, Naruto's eyes were full of contempt, as if he understood something, pointing at Jiraiya and shouting angrily. What do you mean a man should take a hot spring bath? And what do you mean to collect materials? You are obviously here to peek at women bathing, Toad Sage. Humph, I think you are just a perverted sage. Naruto's voice was so loud that it was heard next door. There is a pervert. Sister, hurry up, wait for me, sister. In a few seconds, all the girls next door ran away. Stupid. Your yelling exposed everything about me. Damn little brat. HMPH, you big pervert. I'm not being perverted. I just get inspiration through peeping to create better works, all for art. What do you know, little brat? You lied. Don't make excuses. But, Jiraiya was so angry that his teeth were itching, but getting angry now was not a solution. The girls had all run away, and there was no point in soaking any more. Little brat, it's getting late, put on your clothes, I'll take you home. Leaving now? Nonsense, can't you see it's getting dark? Hurry up and follow me. The two put on their clothes, left the hot spring, and walked along the street to Naruto's house. Go up, little brat, I'm leaving. After saying that, Jiraiya turned around and prepared to leave. Before he took a step, Naruto suddenly called him. Hey, lecherous immortal. I'm not lecherous immortal, you rude kid. Jiraiya turned around and glared at him. At this moment, he suddenly found that Naruto was looking at him with reluctance. Lecherous immortal, when can you come to accompany me again? I'm really happy to be with you today. This is the first time I have such a feeling and the first time I have been accompanied by someone. Seeing Naruto's expression, Jiraiya's anger instantly dissipated, and turned into uneasy sadness. He walked slowly to Naruto and patted his little head gently. Don't worry, I will come to see you again soon. Really? Yeah, really. After getting Jiraiya's affirmative answer, little Naruto smiled happily and ran upstairs excitedly. Ah, Jiraiya stood alone on the street and took a look at Naruto's house. He didn't leave until the lights in Naruto's house were on. Before he took a few steps, a woman's voice suddenly called him. I thought you were doing something. It turns out you were accompanying a child. What, do you know him? Oh, it's Tsunade. Jiraiya walked to Tsunade and said, this child is the legacy left by the fourth Hokage. Tsunade was shocked when she heard this. Is he, the Nine-Tails helper of the village? Jiraiya nodded. Yeah, since the end of World War II, due to the death of her younger brother Nawase and her lover Kato Dan, Tsunade was disheartened and left Konoha village with Dan's niece Shizune. She didn't know Naruto. Tsunade, what are you doing here? Of course I came to see you. The old man told me that Uchiha Shayu has taken the root organization to the land of fields. Let's go, we should leave too. Okay, by the way, the old man just added another task. What task? After dealing with Orochimaru and Uchiha Shayu, no one from the root organization will be left alive. Didn't the old man say that the root organization is now his people? Why kill them? Tsunade shook her head. I don't know either. He didn't say the reason, but I guess it's because the people in the root organization know too much. Jiraiya frowned. Tsunade, what happened to our master? After coming back this time, I suddenly felt like I didn't recognize him. Shish, keep your voice down. Tsunade interrupted Jiraiya and looked around. Jiraiya, didn't you notice? There are people from the Anbu around here. Jiraiya, I know, they are responsible for protecting Naruto. After all, he is the precious Jinchuriki of the village, and they have been following Naruto and me for a long time today. Oh, forget it, let's go first, and we can talk on the way if we have anything to say. The Kingdom of Fields is not far away. It is located in the north of the Kingdom of Fire, and the lands are adjacent to each other. Shayu led the root organization troops all the way north to the Kingdom of Tien. He called everyone together, took out the map and said, on the map, there are 3 secret strongholds of Orochimaru marked respectively. Orochimaru should be hidden in one of these 3 strongholds. You are divided into 2 groups, one goes to the left and the other goes to the right. As for me, prepare to go to the middle. That. The leading root organization member quickly asked. Master Shayu, are you alone? Isn't this too dangerous? If Orochimaru happens to be at the middle stronghold, I'm afraid we won't be able to support you in time. It doesn't matter. I know my strength well. Although Orochimaru is strong, he can't kill me. It is also for your safety to divide your troops into 2 groups. There is strength in numbers. In short, this is my arrangement. You go quickly. If you see Orochimaru, send a message immediately. Yes. The figures disappeared instantly and sped away in 2 directions. Looking at the backs of everyone leaving, Shayu knew that it was impossible for them to see Orochimaru. Before setting off, Shayu found Yakushi Kabuto hidden in Konoha and learned from him the true location of Orochimaru. It's the stronghold in the middle. How could Shayu bring a bunch of light bulbs with him when meeting his child's mother? Afterwards, Shayu rushed towards the middle stronghold alone. Along the way, he left marks from time to time for Jiraiya and Tsunade to see. Soon after, Jiraiya and Tsunade also arrived. The attentive Jiraiya noticed the marks on the tree trunk. It seems that Shayu is going to the intermediate base. Let's go quickly, Tsunade. Well, Jiraiya, do you know Shayu? Me, I met him a few times when he was young. I remember those times in the hot springs. I was peeping, collecting information, but it turned out that Shayu was actually dragged into the hot spring by a group of girls. Washed together, I'm so envious. So, He is very popular with girls. Of course. But this is what I don't understand the most. I really don't know what the aesthetics of little girls are. No one likes my burly figure and handsome face, but everyone likes a pretty boy like him. I guess it's regarding the hair shape. One day, I will also have my hair parted in the middle. Jiraiya was very jealous and couldn't help but complain a few words. It seems, that person is really him. Tsunade murmured to herself in a low voice. In her mind, she couldn't help but think back to the handsome boy she saw in the hospital today. When she thought of him, Tsunade's face instantly felt hot, and her heart was inexplicably agitated. The more she thought about it, the more she thought about it, and the more she thought about it, the more she thought about it. Jiraiya asked, what did you just say? I didn't hear clearly. No. Nothing. Tsunade, your face is so red, why? Are you shy when you were alone with me? If you are interested in me, just tell me and keep it to yourself, I like you very much. You big pervert, hurry up. After being retorted by Tsunade, Jiraiya chuckled and changed his attitude, and asked faintly, when you see Orochimaru later, will you kill him? Tsunade pondered for a moment and shook her head. I'm not sure, but this is the old man's order. Generally speaking, I am the most disobedient person, but in business, I will not disobey the master. Fate, what about you? Seeing Tsunade express her determination, Jiraiya also expressed what was in his heart. I can't do it. I want to persuade Orochimaru one more time. I didn't seize the opportunity before. This time, I will cherish it. I always believe that Orochimaru and I will understand each other one day. I hope it will be today. What about Shayu? The old man said that Shayu also wants to be killed. Jiraiya, will you kill him? Tsunade, you are so strange. Jiraiya turned his head and looked at Tsunade with suspicion. I find that you seem to care about Shayu very much. No, don't interrupt. Answer my question quickly. Tsunade lowered her head, her face almost buried in her chest. Well, I will find out for myself first. If Shayu is really a threat to the village as the old man said, in that case, I will definitely take action. Got it. Tsunade simply responded and then said nothing more. Jiraiya asked with concern, what's wrong with you? You feel like you're out of shape today. Feeling unwell, could it be those days? Shut up. What are you guessing about? Wait, Jiraiya, stop it. Tsunade seemed to feel something and quickly stopped where she was, staring at the woods not far away. The same was true for Jiraiya. He could clearly feel a long-lost sense of intimacy emanating from the woods, getting closer and closer. My lovely comrades, long time no see. Orochimaru slowly walked out of the woods, with a cold smile on his face, and came to Jiraiya and Tsunade. Jiraiya, you are much older. How pitiful. Tsunade, you are very young, but your false youthfulness is just self-deception. Looking at Orochimaru in front of them, Tsunade and Jiraiya were slightly shocked. In this outfit, he was still the Orochimaru they knew. She is simply more feminine than a young woman. There is an indescribable beauty. Tsunade asked angrily, Orochimaru, is it true that you have researched the art of immortality? Jiraiya asked coldly, you are indeed a dangerous existence. Is immortality really that important? Life is meaningful only when it has a beginning and an end. The only thing that can last forever is our will. Orochimaru didn't care about the two people's questions. Jiraiya, you are not going to lecture me again, when will your innocence fade away? Jiraiya stepped forward, swung his arms and moved his muscles. I didn't get you back last time, I won't give up this time. Even if I have to use force, I will take you back, Orochimaru, I have never given up on you. Orochimaru shook his head. Forget it, if it was before, I might play with you, but forget it recently, my body can't accompany you. Let me tell you, pregnant. Hearing Orochimaru suddenly say this, Jiraiya and Tsunade were both stunned. They were stunned for a long time. When he came back to his senses, Jiraiya was also speechless. Orochimaru, are you confused? Learning ninjutsu in a variety of ways will make you stupid. What kind of joke are you talking about? Tsunade sneered. Yes, I know you are a genius, and you have always been very strong since childhood, but there is no need to get pregnant faster than me. Ha. Obviously, as old comrades who grew up together in childhood, neither of them believed it. We know your gender very well. Stop it. Hee. Orochimaru lifted his hair and laughed sinisterly. I have long become an existence beyond everything. Don't define me with the common sense of ordinary people. You know me. I never tell lies. Looking at Orochimaru's serious and affirmative expression, Jiraiya and Tsunade looked at each other and slowly put away the smiles on their faces. I guess she is really pregnant. Jiraiya felt very sad. Orochimaru, look at what you look like now, although, it's cute, but is this appropriate? Tsunade also echoed. Dressing yourself like this, have you really become a woman? It's okay to be a woman, but you are pregnant. You are so awesome. How did you do it? This is absolutely impossible from a medical point of view. Jiraiya. No, Tsunade, since he can make all the women in the Hokage building pregnant, I don't find it strange that he can get pregnant now. This outrageous guy. Orochimaru. Hee, things are not what you think, alas. There are many things in this world that are inevitable, but the result is always good, at least I can accept it now. Quote. Jiraiya shouted, shut up, you pervert, I must take you back and find a way to change you back to your previous appearance. Even if I can't change back, I will keep you by my side. As your good brother, I don't want to see you harm others again. I will take care of the rest of your life. Tsunade. Well said, Jiraiya, but, why do I always feel something is wrong? Seeing that Jiraiya in front of him had already set up a posture, Orochimaru shook his head helplessly and sneered. You really want to attack me, right? Although my body is not suitable for attacking, old classmates who have not seen for many years have come to my territory, I will not ignore you. Orochimaru slowly put his slender hands together in front of his chest. Yin, Si, Shu, Chen. I'll give you a big gift, no need to thank me. Reincarnation. As soon as the voice fell, two coffins suddenly drilled out from the ground. There were two big characters written on the coffin board. First, second. Seeing the two coffins, Jiraiya and Tsunade were shocked. Immortality. Orochimaru, you actually learned this forbidden technique. The people in these two coffins could not be. Pa. The coffin board fell, and two people who looked like zombies walked out of it. They were the first generation Hokage, Senju Hashirama, and the second generation Hokage, Senju Tobirama. Grandpa, Uncle Grandpa, Orochimaru, you dared to play with the dead, I will not forgive you. Seeing that her loved ones who had died many years ago were desecrated, the hot-tempered Tsunade could not bear it anymore. She jumped up in one step, waving her fist and attacking Orochimaru. Orochimaru had no intention of hiding at all, and looked calm. When Tsunade's fist was about to fall, Senju Hashirama broke through and blocked Orochimaru, and blocked Tsunade's fist with one hand. Hee, my lovely granddaughter, you have grown up and become much stronger. Grandpa. Hearing the greeting from Hashirama Senju, Tsunade's eyes were instantly moist. At this time, Jiraiya appeared beside her without knowing when, took Tsunade away and jumped to another place, reminding her in a deep voice. Tsunade, put away your unnecessary emotions. You should know the forbidden technique of Impure world reincarnation. They are now puppets of Orochimaru. I know. These are two Hokage. We can't be soft, we have to use all our strength from the beginning. Otherwise, we will be the ones to die. Well, Tsunade sorted out her emotions, wiped her tears, and her eyes gradually became firm. Senju Tobirama turned his head and looked at Orochimaru behind him, and asked coldly. You are the girl who summoned me and my elder brother. You can master this technique at such a young age, not bad. Senju Hashirama. Tobirama, I told you at that time that this kind of technique should not be created. Orochimaru took out two kunai with talismans and inserted them into the back of Hashirama and Tobirama's heads. Hee. Two adults, I didn't invite you out to listen to your idle chat. Let's get started. It's late. I don't want to stay up late. It's not good for the children. Hearing Orochimaru's hoarse voice, Hashirama and Tobirama were stunned at the same time. Why does this girl sound like this? It's a waste that you look so pretty. Who are you? Before he finished speaking, the kunai had been completely buried in the back of their heads. The kunai can erase the consciousness of the dead, but whether to retain emotions can be decided by the caster. As the caster, Orochimaru chose not to retain any emotions. A large amount of dust filled the area around Hashirama and Tobirama's bodies. As the dust poured in, the two's auras became more and more lively, and their expressions gradually became indifferent. This fierce battle was about to break out. Not far away, in the jungle. Uchiha Shayu sat on a branch, taking in all of this. Alas, it's so boring to be a spectator. Shayu wanted to take action, but Orochimaru wouldn't let her. An hour ago, Shayu came to the secret base and found Orochimaru, and told her all these things. Shayu's original intention was to let Orochimaru send his men to get rid of Jiraiya, and then she and Tsunade would go to the grove to fight, and try the mind-to-mind technique again. Originally, this plan was perfect, but Orochimaru disagreed. She wanted to try the forbidden technique she was studying, the Impure world reincarnation. Not long ago, Deidara and the Red Sand Scorpion had troubled Orochimaru. Orochimaru used the Impure world reincarnation to summon the third cage, but he had not yet fully mastered this technique. Halfway through the fight, the third cage lifted the technique himself with his super strong will. Since then, Orochimaru began to study harder, and gradually found that as long as he did not let the dead exert their full strength, he could freely control the dead. The Hashirama summoned now cannot use the Wood Dragon and the True Thousand Hands at their peak, and Tobirama cannot use the Flying Thunder God. Although their strength has been greatly reduced, at least it can be guaranteed that these two will not actively cancel the Impure world reincarnation by will. Orochimaru wants to take this opportunity to try it out and see the effect. Jiraiya and Tsunade, who are also three ninjas, are the most perfect powerful guinea pigs. Seeing that Orochimaru insisted so much, Shayu had no choice but to agree to her request. Who made her pregnant with his child? His wife should be spoiled. As the breath of the living became stronger and stronger, the will of Hashirama and Tobirama was completely wiped out, and they became real killing machines. Orochimaru slowly walked to the side, leaned against the tree trunk gracefully and murmured, "Then, let's start, two adults." After the words fell, Hashirama and Tobirama immediately took the posture of ninja running and rushed towards Jiraiya and Tsunade. Jiraiya no longer hesitated, his hands moved rapidly, refined chakra into oil and held it in his mouth, puffed up his cheeks and spit out a huge column of hot fire. Fire style, flame bullet. Just when the flame bullet was about to rush towards the two, Tobirama spread his arms, and after only 2 seals, a whirlpool-like water wall immediately filled the area around Tobirama and Hashirama, instantly extinguishing Jiraiya's flame bullet. Water style. Water array wall. Jiraiya and Tsunade were shocked. Is this a water array wall? Water wall is a very common ninjutsu, but this is the first time they have seen a water wall that rotates around the caster in a circular manner like a waterfall. And it is not in a place with water. This level of water escape is simply unbelievable. After the fusion of water and fire, a large amount of water vapor rises wantonly. Tobirama clapped his hands and just stamped it. The tide like a tornado spread rapidly, and huge waves rushed towards Jiraiya and Tsunade. Water escape, water rush wave. The amount of water this time is several times more terrifying than the water wall just now. If you get hit, the consequences will be unimaginable. Jiraiya and Tsunade both jumped up and jumped onto a big tree beside them, but the impact of the huge wave was too strong. Before they could stand firmly, the big tree under their feet was knocked down by the huge wave and uprooted. Jiraiya hurriedly shouted, "Oh no, Tsunade, use the summoning technique quickly to summon the slug out." Tsunade's eyes evaded and her face showed hesitation. Jiraiya then remembered that because of hemophobia, Tsunade had not used the summoning technique for a long time. In a hurry, Jiraiya could only bite his finger, smear the blood on his palm, and waved his hand. Summoning technique. Bang! Gamabunta made a brilliant appearance, and the next moment, Jiraiya and Tsunade immediately jumped on Bunta's back. Is this the sea? Jiraiya, why did you summon me here? Tsunade, you are here too. Bunta, I will explain to you later, be careful, the enemy is coming. As the huge waves gradually dissipated, the entire ground began to tremble violently like an earthquake, and a large number of strange-shaped trees broke out of the ground, intertwining branches, tightly wrapping Gamabunta's 4-toed legs, unable to move. Gamabunta was shocked. What is this? Wood release. Jiraiya, your opponent is not. Jiraiya frowned and said the two names that even Gamabunta would be afraid of. The enemy is the first Hokage and the second Hokage. What, aren't they dead a long time ago? It was that guy Orochimaru who summoned these two people with the Impure World reincarnation. Don't ask Bunta yet, you and Tsunade buy me some time. I need to show my real skills to deal with them. While speaking, Jiraiya rolled up his sleeves, painted 2 lines of eyeshadow under his eyes, and clasped his hands together. Seeing Jiraiya posing like this, Bunta was stunned. Jiraiya, you are not going to. Jiraiya said seriously, yes. Just as you thought, I will use the Sage Mode. Sage Mode. Tsunade was slightly surprised. She didn't expect Jiraiya to have such a trump card. Jiraiya usually doesn't use the Sage Mode, let alone in front of the woman he likes. After all, he looks too ugly in Sage Mode, and he has never let Tsunade see his Sage appearance before. But today he has to do this. If he doesn't go all out, there is only one way to go. I want to summon 2 great sages. I can't separate my hands before I finish. Please, I need you to buy me time. Understood. Gamabunta nodded heavily. Tsunade. Let's go. But these branches are really annoying, While Bunta was complaining, Tsunade had already waved her fists and smashed all the branches around Bunta with strange strength, reminding him. Bunta, this wood release is not as tough as imagined. It should not be my grandfather's peak wood release. Or maybe he can't use his peak strength, don't be afraid. Okay, I'm relieved. Stand firm, I'm going to go. Bunta drew out the dagger at his waist and jumped, slashing towards the position where Hashirama and Tobirama were. Hashirama and Tobirama flashed, trying to avoid Bunta's attack, but Tsunade was already prepared. While Tobirama dodged the dagger, she threw a flying kick and kicked Tobirama's body. With a bang, Tobirama's entire body was instantly kicked by Tsunade and turned into a large piece of dust. Seeing this scene, Tsunade gradually confirmed her guess. With Tsunade's understanding of Tobirama Senju, he could completely dodge the mountain-breaking kick just now with Flying Thunder God. The same is true for Grandpa just now. His wood escape can also be easily shattered by his own strange power. This unreasonableness can only be explained by one conclusion. Bunta, Jiraiya, although these two people look like my grandfather and my uncle, their true strength seems to be unable to be fully exerted for some reasons. We have a chance of winning this battle. Jiraiya, who was accumulating power on Bunta's head, was delighted when he heard this. Very good, you keep it up. When I become Sage Mode, I will use my strongest sealing technique to seal them. Orochimaru, who was standing aside, murmured to himself, tisk tisk. Tsunade's brain is still as bright as ever. It seems that this level is not enough to deal with 2 Sannin. How can a cage-level dead person fully exert his pre-birth strength and still be controlled by himself at all times? This is a problem. I have to work harder on this Impure World reincarnation technique. Who? While he was talking to himself, Orochimaru suddenly felt that his body was picked up by someone, the kind of princess hug. Shayu, what are you doing? The person holding her was Uchiha Shayu. Idiot, didn't you notice that your shoes were soaked by the water summoned by Tobirama? What if you catch a cold? You don't take care of your body at all. Don't worry about it. Put me down. Orochimaru's cheeks flushed instantly, and he fluttered back and forth in Shayu's arms like a frightened bird. Shayu ignored Orochimaru's resistance and hugged her tightly. You are the mother of my child. How can I ignore you? Before the child is born, I will not allow any accidents to happen to your body, even catching a cold. Be good and listen. Shayu, I advise you not to be too outrageous, you are too presumptuous. Looking at Orochimaru in his arms, Shayu suddenly wanted to do something. Something he had thought about for a long time since Orochimaru was pregnant. Orochimaru, don't move, let me see if you are a real woman now. Shayu's hand holding Orochimaru's waist gradually moved downward. Wait, what are you going to do? After finding the right place, Shayu patted it lightly and his eyes lit up. Hiss, this feeling of nothingness, empty, there really is nothing. At this moment, Shayu was finally convinced that Orochimaru in his arms was indeed a woman. Already a chicken and egg beat. Orochimaru became angry. I'm going to kill you, Shayu. Shayu was very satisfied and joked. Don't scream, keep your voice down, what if you make them fight? If you shout again, I will kiss you. Ha, you think I will just let you do what you want? Ah, Shayu, you. Shayu didn't care about that. Seeing that Orochimaru was still arguing, he raised his elbow, raised Orochimaru's head in his arms to his face, and then took a big gulp. The overlord raised his bow forcefully. Orochimaru's first kiss was gone. After their lips and teeth separated, Orochimaru's face was filled with astonishment and his eyes were dull. I don't know whether it's because I'm still confused or because I'm so shocked. Shayu, is he serious? I have today too. Orochimaru's mind went blank. The male hormones that had been gradually decreasing were eaten away by the overflowing female hormones at this moment. Coming to a clean stone step, Shayu carefully put down Orochimaru from his arms. Orochimaru was silent and distracted. After experiencing Shayu's outrageous behavior just now, Orochimaru was really honest this time. He was still in a state of confusion. Who am I? Where am I? What was done to me just now? On the other side, the war continues. Although the strength of Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama at this time is completely incomparable with that at their peak, they are more than enough to deal with Tsunade and Bunta, not to mention they are still reincarnated bodies. In fact, Tsunade has never used her full strength and is always careful with her attacks. She will only choose to fight in close combat under extremely certain conditions. This is to prevent herself from being injured and bleeding. Once bleeding occurs and hemophobia attacks, not only will he not be able to help at all, but he will become a burden, which Tsunade does not want to see. Seeing Tsunade's timid appearance, Gamabunta also understood Tsunade's difficulties, so he has always been the main attacker. Jiraiya, are you still not feeling well? I can't hold it anymore, phew. Gamabunta was panting heavily, and his skin was covered with large and small scars. It was indeed difficult for him to deal with two Hokages at the same time and act as Tsunade's human shield from time to time. Not only that, in order to prevent Tsunade from seeing blood, Gamabunta would be distracted and quickly wash away the blood from the wound with water every time he was injured. He looked strong and rough on the outside, but in fact he was a careful frog. Jiraiya's eyes narrowed and he shouted sternly, "It's done. Thank you for your hard work, Bunta." Psychic art. Bang. Two small streams of white smoke appeared from the soles of Jiraiya's feet. Before the smoke dissipated, two small black figures flashed in the smoke and appeared on both sides of Jiraiya's shoulders. Immortal technique, immortal mode. As he finished speaking, Jiraiya's facial muscles and eyes began to change at a speed visible to the naked eye. The area of his nose doubled, his pupils transformed into frog pupils, and some irregular flesh bumps grew on the surface of his skin. Looking at it directly, it looks like a frogman. As the smoke completely dissipated, the black shadows on both sides of Jiraiya's shoulders finally revealed their true form. They are two old and small toads, one male and one female. They are respectively the two great sages of Mt. Myoboku, Fukasaku Sennin and Shima Sennin. Jiraiya greeted him respectfully. "Boss, eldest sister, long time no see." Shima Sennin. "What kind of place is this?" Little Jiraiya. "He didn't even say hello before he came to me. I'm cooking." Jiraiya smiled awkwardly. "Ha ha ha. I'm sorry, big sister." Seeing that his wife was a little angry, Fukasaku Sennin quickly tried to smooth things over. "Don't say that. I guess there's a reason why little Jiraiya is so anxious to find us. By the way, didn't you say that this look doesn't please girls?" Jiraiya responded. "There is no way, now is not the time to care about appearance, this opponent is very difficult." Sesame Sage said disdainfully. "HMPH, there are still people in this world who can make you feel troublesome. Little Jiraiya, has your strength deteriorated recently?" "Boss, big sister, you really don't blame me. My opponents are the first Hokage and the second Hokage." "What?" Fukasaku and Shima were stunned. They looked in the direction pointed by Jiraiya and found Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama fighting with Tsunade not far away. Tsunade was obviously at a disadvantage and could only avoid them. "This is..." Fukasaku immediately saw the clue. Their eyes, could they be the reincarnated bodies of the dirty earth? Shima nodded. "Yes, absolutely. As two old antiques, Fukasaku and Shima still have a certain understanding of the forbidden jutsu reincarnation." "Who is it?" He actually learned such a dangerous forbidden technique. Jiraiya smiled bitterly. Oh, it's my old classmate, Orochimaru. Hearing this, Immortal Shima snorted coldly. Huh. Is it that snake boy again? I didn't have a good impression of him in the past. Sister, I'm afraid I can't call him brat now. She is a woman now, and she is even pregnant. Fukasaku Senin, Shima Senin. After a moment of silence, the two frogs said in unison, you humans are really playful. This is unimaginable in our frog world. It's so explosive. It's also explosive in the human world. Okay, big sister, boss. Tsunade can't hold it anymore, let's go. Wentai, thank you for your hard work. You can go back and recover slowly. Boom. Jiraiya threw off the clogs on his feet and lay on the ground with all four limbs. As his palms gradually transformed into frogs and expanded, his figure had become the strongest melee form in Sage mode. With a slight push of his hind legs, Jiraiya was instantly ejected in front of Tsunade. In melee combat mode, Jiraiya's speed and approach have been greatly improved. Hey, Tsunade, I'm here to help you. Remember to forget what I am now after this battle. I don't want to leave an ugly impression in your heart. Are you Jiraiya? Tsunade was shocked. At this moment, Jiraiya not only changed his appearance and form, but even the chakra emanating from him was completely different from before. Haha, the first Hokage, the second Hokage. Next, let me be your opponent. From now on, I will use senjutsu instead of ninjutsu. Please remember the name of this junior. Looking up with my bare back to the sky, I am, the hero Jiraiya. Before Jiraiya could finish his pause, Fukasaku and Shima punched Jiraiya's left and right faces angrily at the same time. You're so noisy. Don't scream in our ears. Woo, ah. Regarding Jiraiya's noise, Shima Senin looked displeased. Before every battle, you always have to put on such an exaggerated and boring posture. Hurry up and let me go back. I have to prepare supper. Compared with Yi Xiao, these two filthy bodies in front of us are the most troublesome. We can't be careless. One of them is the god of ninja, and the other is the master of forbidden arts. Don't underestimate them. HMPH. So what? Don't underestimate the housewives who worry about preparing meals every day. The child's father uses wind escape, little Jiraiya uses oil, and I use fire escape. Let's have a taste of deep-fried filthy earth body first. Jiraiya and Fukasaku both nodded. Okay. The three of them each formed a seal, and relied on the tacit understanding they had worked together for many years to shout in unison, Senpo Gomon. The three magical arts merged together, bursting out with super powerful destructive power and attack range. The surrounding temperature rose rapidly, and the skin would feel burning even if it was not hit by this technique. Fukasaku's wind release strengthens fire, Shima's fire release boils oil, and the hot oil spreads over the sky to deal damage. This is the most powerful secret of this technique. Anyone who blends into it will be destroyed. This technique cannot be broken by ordinary water escape alone. After all, the amount of oil is so large that it can be compared with a small lake. But this is not difficult for Senju Tobirama. The enemy can summon a lake, and he can summon a sea. When it comes to water escape alone, Tobirama has absolute confidence. Water release big waterfall wave. Senju Tobiran clasped his hands together, and violently spurted out from his mouth a huge wave like a surging river. The huge wave swept in, and Jiraiya's hot oil was instantly diluted by the waves. Seeing this, Shima Senin sighed. It's unbelievable how much water there is. The Thousand Hands Gate is really terrifying. Fukasaku Sage quickly reminded. Little Jiraiya, get out of the way. This technique will eventually become a ball-shaped water prison. If we are locked in it, we will be in trouble. I understand, boss. Don't worry, all this is within the tactics I planned. After saying that, Jiraiya escaped and directly escaped into the ground. Earth Release. Heart Beheading Technique. This technique can use earth escape to allow the caster to sneak into the ground for surprise attacks or to avoid enemy attacks. Enchantment Heavenly Capping Array. Jiraiya, who was hiding underground, used the stealth technique to move freely underground and opened a transparent spherical detection barrier. As long as this technique was not destroyed, he could freely expand the detection range. Through his perception of the ground, Jiraiya instantly sensed the positions of Tobirama and Hashirama. On the ground, Tobirama and Hashirama stood expressionlessly in the huge water prison. Because of their bodies of filthy earth, they did not need to breathe at all in the water prison. Seeing Jiraiya disappear, Tobirama's face froze. He looked at his feet faintly, and said coldly, "He is underground and is attacking us at an extremely fast speed." Senju Hashirama was once the most powerful perceptive ninja in the ninja world. In terms of perception field, even his eldest brother Senju Hashirama was not as good as him. Well, Senju Hashirama heard this, slowly closed his hands, and shouted. Would release the tree realm is born. In an instant, the ground began to tremble. What's going on? Jiraiya, who was sneaking underground, was shocked. He originally wanted to use this technique to attack Senju Tobirama directly from the soles of his feet and find an opportunity to seal it, but he never thought that the vibration of the underground disrupted his rhythm. The next second, a large number of vines appeared around Jiraiya. They were so fast that even Jiraiya had no time to dodge. The moment they were discovered, the vines quickly rose up and forcefully lifted Jiraiya out of the ground. Come out. On the battlefield, countless thick vines sprouted out of the ground, not only restraining Jiraiya, but even the water prison between Senju Tobi was broken through by these vines. Ah! Jiraiya shouted in pain. This wood release is really powerful. Don't panic, I'll cut these pieces of wood right now. Fukasaku Sage stretched out his frog hand and quickly formed seals, condensing the Senjutsu chakra into his throat. Immortal technique water slash. An extremely sharp water jet shot out from Fukasaku's mouth, instantly cutting off all the dense vines around Jiraiya. Well done, boss. Sure enough, you are the most reliable. Jiraiya praised with a smile. But smiling, Jiraiya suddenly looked startled, cold sweat broke out on his forehead, and he felt a chill on his back. The chakra of Senju Tobiran suddenly appeared and was sticking tightly to his back. Oops, Jiraiya turned around sharply, but it was too late. Senju Tobirama had already wrapped the water release around the kunai in his right hand and stabbed Jiraiya in the back. Water release water blade slash. 2 minutes later. PFF'd. Ah! The sharp water escape kunai pierced Jiraiya's chest. Fukasaku said anxiously and with concern, little Jiraiya. Even the sage mode can't deal with the two Hokages. Jiraiya fell to the ground in response, and at the moment he fell to the ground, he was still unwilling. Seeing that Jiraiya was injured, Tsunade, who had been watching as a spectator, couldn't bear it anymore and immediately jumped in front of Jiraiya and picked him up. Jiraiya, how are you? Perhaps she was too concerned about Jiraiya's condition, and she completely forgot that Jiraiya's body was bleeding. The moment she picked up Jiraiya, Tsunade's hands were covered in blood. Blood, this is blood. Tsunade was trembling all over, and looked at Jiraiya who was groaning in pain in her arms with horror. Those bad memories filled Tsunade's mind again. Little Tsunade, you should heal little Jiraiya quickly, and the two filthy bodies will be taken care of by me and his father. What are you standing there for? Treat them quickly. If you keep on dawdling, little Jiraiya will die. Tsunade's body was still shaking, and under the influence of the blood, her voice began to panic. Jiraiya opened his eyes slightly and comforted weakly. It's okay, Tsunade, don't force yourself. At worst, I will die, I have lived long enough, and I have no regrets in death, cough. No, I can't let you die. Having already lost her loved ones, Tsunade didn't want to lose her companions again. In the past, she was not there and didn't have time to treat her two loved ones. This time, the opportunity to heal is right in front of her, and she doesn't want to let it go. 2 streams of green chakra gathered on Tsunade's palms. In a trance, her body stopped shaking. Her blood phobia disappeared. Jiraiya, you won't die as long as I'm here. Tsunade placed her palm on Jiraiya's wound. Hold on, it will heal soon. This. During the treatment, Tsunade suddenly found that Jiraiya's wound was just a large piece of skin broken. Not to mention a fatal injury, not even a piece of flesh was lost. What is going on? Tsunade was stunned. He looked at Jiraiya and found that Jiraiya was looking at him with a smirk on his face. At the same time, the two toad sages were not fighting with their grandfather and uncle, but walked to their side together with a smile on their faces. Senju Hashirama patted Tsunade on the shoulder and said gently, Little Tsunade, you have really grown up. I knew my granddaughter must be a great beauty. Grandpa, you got rid of control. Senju Hashirama pouted and spread his hands. I don't know what's going on. The will can suddenly control itself. Maybe, well, that's it. Senju Tobarama crossed his arms and sighed helplessly. Brother, let me do the explaining. Just a few minutes ago, the chakra used by the reincarnation caster to control us suddenly disappeared. Lost, so my brother and I can regain consciousness. Just now I appeared behind this toad boy holding a water blade kunai and told him that our will had returned. This toad boy came up with a plan and wanted to pretend to be seriously injured to stimulate you to break your inner demon. Well, it seems that the result was successful. Tsunade. Jiraiya turned over and stood up, like nothing happened. He put away the sage mode and returned to normal. He looked around and asked curiously. Strange, where did Orochimaru go? At this time, Orochimaru was sitting on the stone steps in a daze. The mind was still blank. Who am I? Where am I? Shayu seemed to have done something outrageous to me just now. She subconsciously touched her lips, feeling the residual warmth on them. I seem to be not clean. After listening to her uncle's explanation, Tsunade realized that it was just a performance. Looking at his precious granddaughter, Senju Hashirama asked, Suna, why don't I feel something is right? Your current appearance, could it be that you are disguised? Sure enough, nothing can escape Grandpa's eyes. Tsunade chuckled. Grandpa, I am already in my 40s. Are you almost 50? Hashirama's mind twisted and he murmured in surprise. Time flies so fast, my granddaughter is already so old. Hearing this, Tsunade angrily said, Grandpa, I'm only over 40. I'm not even 50 yet. Don't say the word old in front of me. Brother, your integrity has not changed, whether you are alive or dead. After Tobarama scolded Hashirama, he walked up to Tsunade with a smile. Shao Gang, last time I saw you, you were still a cute little girl. It seems wrong to say that a girl has changed into her 18th grade. I didn't expect you to always look so cute. It's better for Uncle and Grandpa to only tell the truth. Since childhood, Senju Tobarama has always doted on his eldest brother's granddaughter. Even when developing and researching new techniques, he often takes Tsunade with him. Even if she scribbles, Tobarama will never get angry. Seeing that Tsunade was so close to his eldest brother but ignored him, Senju Hashirama was obviously a little jealous. He coughed awkwardly, changed the subject and asked. Ahem, Suna, who is the Hokage now? It's my teacher Hiruzen Sarutobi. I heard the teacher tell me that this was my uncle's decision. Senju Tobarama nodded affirmatively. Yes, regardless of his leadership or his own strength, Monkey has the qualifications to be Hokage. It is because of this that I chose him to be Hokage. The most important thing, he has a heart to sacrifice for the village and his compatriots at all times. Quote. Senju Hashirama was very satisfied with this. Since the monkey manages the village, I can rest assured that he is the one who truly inherits the will of fire. Tobarama, you made a good choice. By the way, how is the village now? How are the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan getting along? After hearing his elder brother's question, Senju Tobarama also looked at Tsunade. He also cares about the answer to this question. Tsunade lowered her head and avoided her eyes, unwilling to answer. Seeing this, Jiraiya understood Tsunade's unspeakable secret. He walked up to the two Hokages and said, My lords, let me explain. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Jiraiya. Like Tsunade, I am an old man. No, I am the apprentice of the third Hokage. Tobarama looked Jiraiya up and down, then looked at Fukasaku Sennin and Shima Sennin on Jiraiya's shoulders, and greeted respectfully. After I regained consciousness, I noticed the existence of the two immortals from Miaomu Mountain. I offended you so much just now, and I hope you can forgive me. Shenzaku said politely. Haha, it's okay, we understand, and it's not your fault. It's getting late, and my mother and I still have to make supper for the children. You two can chat first. Well, you two immortals, walk slowly. With two, bang, and, bang, sounds, Fukasaku and Shima turned into two puffs of smoke and disappeared on Jiraiya's shoulder. Senju Hashirama cast an approving look. Your name is Jiraiya. You are very good at being recognized by the two great sages of MT. Myoboku and becoming a sage. Boy, let's talk about it. The Uchiha clan and the Senju clan are now what happened. From the evasive expression of his granddaughter Tsunade just now, Senju Hashirama felt that there must be a problem, and he urgently wanted to know the answer. Jiraiya sighed and said softly, "The Thousand Hands clan is almost in decline now. Since the two adults passed away, as you also know, the instability of the Nine Tails has been a problem, so my teacher Hiruzen Sarutobi and a group of senior officials decided to launch a cell transplantation plan. As for the source of these cells, they are from your body, first generation master. After all, your power can perfectly suppress the Nine Tails' rage." At the beginning, the whole village knew about this. Many people volunteered to transplant your cells, and the majority of them were members of the Thousand Hands clan. Considering that their bloodline is not much different from yours, the higher-ups in the village also thought that because transplantation with people from the Thousand Hands clan will increase the success rate. It's a pity, your cell repulsion was too strong. Whether it was other volunteers or your tribe, all the transplanted people died one after another. In the end, the teacher had to stop the experiment and sealed it as Black history forever. Let the world mention it. Upon hearing the word experiment, Senju Hashirama's face darkened, the corners of his mouth twitched slightly, he pointed at Tobirama and scolded. "It's this kind of dangerous human experiment again. Tobirama, tell the truth, did you develop this plan? When I was alive, you always liked to do similar things like this. You once sacrificed yourself for reincarnation of that filthy soil. Don't you know how many innocent sacrifices were made?" Facing his elder brother's rebuke, Tobirama looked arrogant and completely unmoved. "As long as I can protect the village, I will use all means. Mercy has no meaning on the battlefield, brother. When will your kindness change? Besides, this matter has nothing to do with me. You are my brother, and I am not cold-blooded enough to study you, of cells." Seeing Tobirama's denial, Hashirama didn't say anything more. In order to break the angry situation between the two brothers, Jiraiya quickly interrupted. Because of this experiment, the Thousand Hands clan lost a group of people. Although the experiment was stopped, Danzo and Orochimaru secretly continued the implementation, using children as experimental subjects to transplant cells. In the end, only one child was a perfect fit. These scandals were later discovered by the teacher, who took the child back. Anbu, if you think about it carefully, he should be an adult now. Tsunade nodded. "Well, I remember that child. It seems to be called Tenzo, and he is only a few years younger than Kakashi. When I first saw that he could use wood release at such a young age, I was really shocked." "Wait, I remember you mentioned Danzo just now." Tobirama didn't care much about the kid who knew how to escape, but he was very familiar with the name Danzo. "Yes, that's him. He did most of the bad things in the village," Tsunade said angrily. "Grandpa, uncle, after you passed away, two wars broke out one after another. The remaining members of our Thousand Hands clan also died on the battlefield one after another. Even my biological brother Shungshu." When she thought of what Naoki looked like when she died, tears instantly filled Tsunade's eyes. "The rope tree was born after you passed away. He is 12 years younger than me. He was still in his prime at such a young age, but he died on the battlefield. My grandson, is his name called Rodin Tree?" Senju Hashirama was inevitably a little sad when he heard that he actually had a grandson who died young. Tsunade continued, "It's all Danzo's fault. I suspect he did it on purpose. As the village's senior advisor, he always assigned the Senju tribe to various dangerous battlefields. And the transplant experiment gave priority to the Senju tribe as volunteers. It was definitely him who proposed it." Tsunade was so angry that she was itching her teeth. However, her status at the time was not high and she could not influence Danzo. In addition, her teacher Hiruzen Sarutobi connived at Danzo, so Tsunade had no choice but to bury her resentment in her heart. Since then, the vitality of the Thousand Hands clan has been severely damaged, and the remaining few people have left the village one after another. Even I left. I just returned to the village not long ago. Grandpa, uncle, grandpa, the Thousand Hands clan, are already cold." At this moment, Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama's eyes were dull, and there was nothing happening on the surface, but their hearts could not calm down for a long time. The once world-famous Thousand Hand clan is now in disgrace. This is something they would never dare to imagine even if they were dead and resurrected. Senju Tobarama asked quickly, what about the Uchiha clan? How are they doing? Without the constraints of the Senju clan, wouldn't those evil Uchiha brats want to go to heaven? Even Tobarama, who was mentally strong, began to feel uneasy at this moment. But Tsunade's words shocked the brothers from the underworld. It's also cold, but now I have regained some strength. 2 years ago, the Uchiha clan was exterminated. Ah, Hashirama and Tobarama asked in unison. The Uchiha were exterminated. Who did it? Tsunade gritted her teeth and showed a fierce look. At first, I thought it was just a civil strife in the Uchiha, but I found out the truth recently. The man behind the genocide is that old guy Danzo. Since he came to power, Konoha has been in trouble for a moment. Peaceful. Wrong. At this moment, a young and loud voice suddenly came from behind several people. Danzo, he is actually the one who takes the blame. Hearing the unexpected sound, several people looked back and found that Orochimaru was walking towards here with a young man. Isn't this the handsome boy from the hospital? Seeing him and Orochimaru appear at the same time, and thinking of the only person who was absent on the battlefield just now, Tsunade finally confirmed her guess. This man is indeed Uchiha Shayu. I don't know why, I really want to be his woman, the kind of woman for life. Strange, why would I suddenly have this idea in this situation? Just when the mind-to-mind technique was still playing tricks in Tsunade's mind, Shayu and Orochimaru had already walked in front of everyone. The moment they saw Shayu, Hashirama and Tobarama suddenly revealed a hidden fear. This young man, how could the chakra in his body be so huge? In fact, at the beginning, Tobarama and Hashirama had already sensed an unimaginable amount of chakra nearby. But they only thought it was an illusion. After all, the amount of chakra was simply too amazing. It can't be something that humans can have. Even the chakra as strong as Hashirama's is like a starry sky in front of this young man, one more or one less doesn't matter. Who are you? Senju Tobarama asked coldly. From the young man's face, he had a bad feeling. My name is Uchiha Shayu, meet all the seniors. Sure enough, Senju Tobarama's face darkened. With this head shape, this appearance, and this unruly King aura, who else could it be except the evil Uchiha clan? Senju Tobarama raised his fingers slightly, he was ready to fight at any time. At this time, Senju Hashirama's big hand suddenly patted Tobarama's shoulder, shook his head slightly, and then asked Shayu with a smile. Little brother, you just said that Danzo was just a scapegoat, what do you mean? Shayu slowly said. The disaster of the Uchiha clan, no, the decline of the Senju clan, is related to another person behind it. Hashirama and Tobarama hurriedly asked, who? Sarutobi Hiruzen. Impossible. Senju Tobarama waved his hand. I knew that Uchiha couldn't say anything good, and he dared to slander my most trusted disciple. Uchiha is a born evil kid, I will do it myself. Tobarama raised his finger and was about to do it, but he heard a roar beside him, which stopped him immediately. Tobarama. Senju Hashirama's expression was extremely serious, and he whispered, let this little brother finish his words. The eldest brother spoke. Tobarama didn't dare not listen, and had to listen. He knew that Shayu in front of him was extremely powerful. If he really wanted to use force, even if he and his elder brother joined forces, the result would be hard to predict. Haha, seniors, you might as well think about it. The real leader of Konoha is Sarutobi Hiruzen. Without his permission and support, could Danzo have done so many things? You were once Hokage, so you should have a deep understanding of this kind of thing. Some people live for the inside, while some people live for the face. As a person who lives for the face, you need someone who is willing to be the inside. Lord Hashirama, don't you always have your brother's sharp knife by your side? Even if you know how fierce this knife is, at most you can only scold it a few times, and you will still acquiesce in the end. Danzo is the knife that Hiruzen has always held in his hand and hidden in the dark. But Hiruzen is more scheming than you. He knows how to use people's hearts and knows how to let Danzo take the initiative to take over all the dirty things in the village, while he only needs to pretend to be helpless behind the scenes. What's the attitude? In fact, he is just sitting back and reaping the benefits. Quote, 2 years ago, our Uchiha clan was exterminated in this way. The Black Hand was not only Danzo, but also him, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was hiding at the end. Now there are only a handful of Senju clan members in the village who can still show off. The Uchiha clan has only improved a little because of my efforts in the past 2 years. Seniors, if you don't believe it, either go back and see it yourself, or ask Sarutobi Hiruzen himself directly. Jiraiya angrily retorted, "Nonsense. I don't believe my teacher can do these things. Tsunade, are you right?" Tsunade clasped her hands tightly in front of her chest and murmured softly, I think what Shayu said makes sense." "Ah, Tsunade. Why?" Jiraiya was stunned. He didn't expect Tsunade to speak to Shayu. At this time, Tsunade had a silly look on her face, with only Shayu in her eyes, as if she would agree with whatever Shayu said. Hashirama waved his hand. "Okay. Some things can only be known by seeing with your own eyes. That guy called Orochimaru, I want to go back to the village. Before that, I hope you don't cancel this Impure World reincarnation technique, otherwise." "Hehe, Master Hashirama, I won't do that." Orochimaru knew that even if he didn't restore Hashirama's body to its peak, as long as Hashirama was willing, he could completely get rid of this technique with his own strength. "Let's go, Tobirama, come back to the village with me." Alas, things have changed. I didn't expect that the Senju and Uchiha, who were once the two clans in this world, have fallen into such a miserable situation now. Shayu was actually quite surprised that things could develop like this. The original plan was to take advantage of this operation to meet the child's mother, Orochimaru, and to start a clan with Tsunade in the grove. He never thought that he would meet these two ancestors by chance. The return of these two ancestors to the village may greatly advance the time for Sarutobi Hiruzen to be ruined. On the way back to the village, Jiraiya told Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama in detail about Konoha's situation in recent years. After understanding everything, Senju Hashirama realized that Orochimaru was also a disciple of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and she was a boy before. As the originator of scientific research, Senju Tobirama couldn't help but sigh. Has the technology of today's era developed to this extent? Even gender can be changed. Orochimaru responded respectfully, "Tobirama-sama, I am where I am today because of you. I have always regarded you as my idol. It is your deeds that made me understand how wonderful the process of developing forbidden techniques is and how full of a sense of accomplishment it is." Tobirama was stunned for a moment, and the cold gaze he looked at Orochimaru gradually softened a lot. "Shao Suna, I already know almost everything about the village. How about you? How are your life issues? Are you married? Shao Suna, are you listening?" Hashirama asked several times, but Tsunade didn't even pay attention, as if she didn't hear, and kept secretly looking at the face of Uchiha Natsuyu who was walking beside him. "Suna," Hashirama raised the decibel level. "Ah, Grandpa, what's wrong? What's going on with you? Why are you always absent-minded?" I didn't." How could Tsunade's abnormal behavior escape Senju Hashirama's eyes? "My granddaughter seems to have fallen in love with this Uchiha brat. Shao Gang, if I guess correctly, you are not married yet, right?" "Well, I have such a bad temper, and I'm used to being free, so I've never found the right person," Tsunade explained awkwardly. Senju Hashirama sighed. "Well, your age can no longer be described as eldest or young. If this important event in life is delayed any longer, then our Senju clan's bloodline will really be extinct." Jiraiya interjected. "First Sama. As long as Tsunade agrees, I will shoulder the important task of reviving the bloodline of the Senju clan." "Shut up, you big pervert. We are not suitable." Tsunade immediately rejected Jiraiya. "Rejected again." Jiraiya laughed at himself helplessly. "This is the first time I have been ruthlessly rejected by Tsunade. Little brother Uchiha, do you have feelings for my granddaughter Tsunade? She is a bit older, but she looks first class, so you deserve it." Senju Hashirama's sudden question exploded among everyone like a bomb. Anyone can tell that she is marrying her granddaughter. At this moment, Tsunade's heart was pounding. Perhaps because of being too nervous, her chest size obviously increased in size. Senju Tobirama. "Brother, what do you mean by this? Introducing Suna to the evil Uchiha? Isn't this pushing her into a pit of fire?" Jiraiya. "Sir, I am the one who likes your granddaughter the most. You said you made the wrong match. Orochimaru. Zhu Jian completely ignored what others said. Don't interrupt yet, I want to hear what little brother Shayu means. Shayu did not hesitate. Of course I have no objection. It would be my honor to marry Tsunade. After receiving Shayu's affirmative answer, Hashirama looked at the red expression on his precious granddaughter's face and knew that it was likely to happen. Zuji then asked, Shao Suna, what about you? Everyone's eyes were all focused on Tsunade. I am willing to. Tsunade couldn't wait to express her wish directly. Looking at her expression, she wanted to make this matter final in the bridal chamber right away. Thousand Hands Tobirama, Jiraiya, Orochimaru. Senju Hashirama was very satisfied. Okay, very good. Then I will make the decision on this matter. Shayu, Shao Gang, after I finish handling the affairs of the village, I will be the one to preside over your marriage. Senju Tobirama was anxious. Wait a minute, brother. How could you let Suna marry Uchiha? Tobirama has always hated the Uchiha clan since he was a child. He is very unhappy thinking that his beloved Tsunade will be back and forth by Uchiha's little fool in the future. Tobirama, you also know the current situation of the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan. They can't even reach 1% of their peak. In the final analysis, it's your and my fault. Konoha was founded by these two clans. No matter how much you hate Uchiha, this is a fact. Without the power of Uchiha, Konoha village would not exist at all. These two clans are indispensable. However, Konoha is still there at this time, but the Senju and Uchiha are in dilapidated condition. Without these two clans, can this village still be called Konoha? Senju and Uchiha have been entangled for several generations, and it's time to let go of the hatred between the two clans. I thought I had resolved this matter while I was alive, but in the end I realized that I was too naive. Now Shayu is the only adult man left in the Uchiha clan in the village, and Shaozuna is the only remaining woman in our Senju clan. Marrying the Senju and Uchiha may be the best way to resolve the hatred that has lasted for many years, and it is also the best way to resolve the hatred. A way for Uchiha and Senju to prosper together again. I don't care whether the village's Hokage is from Senju or Uchiha. I just want the members of the two clans to live in peace and health in the village, instead of being excluded and exterminated like now. Senju and Uchiha are the founders of Konoha. If we want to return to the top, we can only unite. If we want to unite, we can only get married. As long as we become relatives, it's hard not to unite. This is not a sudden idea of mine. In fact, I considered marriage before I died, but it's a pity that Madara is a man. No. It's a pity that the two clans still secretly had prejudices against each other at that time, so the marriage was finally abandoned. It's different now. I have observed for a long time and found that Shaosong obviously has feelings for Shayu, and Shayu just said that he is interested in Tsunade. Since the two are in love, I will naturally add fuel to the flames. Senju Tobirama looked at Tsunade in a daze. Shaosong, do you really want to marry Shayu? Well, I think. Tsunade lowered her head and responded shyly. At this moment, Jiraiya was completely heartbroken. He had licked Tsunade for most of his life, but in the end he lost to a young man he had just met twice. He licked the dog, and in the end, he had nothing. But Jiraiya did not give up. He wanted to struggle one last time. Master Shodai, Master Nadai, and Tsunade, you may not know much about Shayu, but he is a married man. Oh, upon hearing this, Hashirama frowned slightly. Shayu, are you married? Shayu was not going to lie. Yeah, I've been married twice. What, twice? Yeah, it's twice. I married more than 1,000 women the first time I got married, and more than 1,000 women the second time. Now, if you count, I have more than 3,000 wives in total. Oh, by the way, there are some I'm about to marry, such as Orochimaru next to me. So, the child in Orochimaru's belly is. Yeah, it's mine. Quote. The people who were walking through the woods suddenly stopped and looked at Shayu with dull eyes. Hashirama asked in surprise. You look like a man in his early 20s, why do you marry so many wives? To revive the clan. Since my clan was exterminated, of course I have to rely on having children to revive the Uchiha bloodline. This is the fastest and most direct way. Although I am not talented, the number of my offspring has exceeded 2,000. Everyone was speechless, except Jiraiya. He was about to explode. Shayu, I hate you. Not only did you steal my crush, but you also want to marry my brother. We are 3 great ninjas, and you actually married 2 of them. You are too much. Chapter 91. Orochimaru suddenly spoke. Stop. I admit that the child in my belly is Shayu's son, but I have no intention of marrying Shayu. At least not now, no. Never. Ant Snake has always been so arrogant. Senju Hashirama looked at Shayu carefully from top to bottom. How on earth did you manage to have more than 2,000 children in 2 years? Shayu patted his strong waist. I am young and in good health, so I won't get bad easily. Senju Hashirama. Qian Shu Feijian coldly snorted. HMPH. Isn't this just a stallion? I can understand your feelings about reviving the clan, but I will never approve of this method. Shaogang, he has thousands of wives, you will not marry him, come on. Don't listen to your grandpa, tell me what you really think, I'll make the decision for you. I still want to marry Shayu, and I want to prosper Uchiha and Senju together with him. Shaogang, Senju Tobarama was speechless. He didn't expect Tsunade to let herself down like this. At this time, Tsunade was completely broken. Apart from Shayu, there was only Shayu in her mind. Shayu also gradually understood that the art of heart-to-heart communication was indeed powerful. Jiraiya was about to cry but had no tears. He originally wanted to expose Shayu's scandal in front of the 2 adults and persuade Tsunade to change her mind, but he never thought that Tsunade would be so insistent. Today can be said to be the darkest day for Jiraiya. Brothers and women, one has been and the other is about to be. OMG. Seeing that Tsunade still persisted, Senju Hashirama, who had been a little concerned just now, stopped saying anything more. After all, he is a dead person, and since this is his granddaughter's wish, he can't interfere too much. What's more, Hashirama really wants to see the marriage between Senju and Uchiha one day. This was his wish. He had always hoped that Senju and Uchiha could be truly compatible, and he had no grudges in his heart. Seeing that the atmosphere was a bit awkward, Senju Hashirama smiled and touched his head. Okay, let's go back to the village first. We can talk about these things later. Wait, someone is coming. At this time, Senju Tobarama suddenly sensed that a large amount of chakra was quickly approaching them. A few minutes later, several ninjas wearing black robes arrived. Senju Tobarama. Looking at the attire of these people, they must be Anbu. Shayu responded. No, these are people from the root organization. Although they are also Anbu, the existence of the Anbu directly under the Hokage is different. These people were once Danzo's direct subordinates and were handed over to me after Danzo's death. Tsunade slowly approached Shayu and reminded. Be careful, they are actually my teacher's people. This time Jiraiya and I are here with other tasks. The teacher wants you and Orochimaru to be injured and then we will unite with the root organization to kill you, and then let us deal with it. Root tissue. Shayu's pupils shrank. Oh, is there such a thing? Sarutobi Hiruzen, you really have a good plan. Yeah, Tsunade nodded heavily. Jiraiya looked bitter. Tsunade, you don't have to sell the teacher so quickly. Isn't our teacher not as important as Shayu? Shayu responded with a smile. Senior Jiraiya, you have said so many things just now, but you still haven't seen the true face of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Jiraiya turned his head and said, Humph, I won't believe your nonsense at all. So, how is Naruto, the one you care about most, doing well now? Hearing the name Naruto, Jiraiya's heart tightened. The teacher once said that he would take good care of Naruto. But when they met yesterday, Jiraiya realized that this was not taking care of him, but just monitoring him. Not only that, but now Naruto has become like a rat crossing the street, and everyone calls him to beat him. Even so, the teacher as Hokage did not say a few words for Naruto. Sigh, what's going on in this world? Jiraiya's faith in his teacher suddenly wavered. Senior Jiraiya, people decide their stances based on right and wrong, and slaves determine right and wrong based on their stance. Only a slave will always believe in his master unswervingly, no matter what the master does is right or wrong. We are human beings, living human beings. Our eyes can see right from wrong. We are born as human beings. I believe you will make your own decision. Jiraiya was stunned for a moment, then said angrily, Kid, you don't need to educate me. All the slanders you have slandered against my teacher will be known to the two Hokages after they return to the village. I believe my teacher. Even though he said this, Jiraiya had already begun to doubt in his heart. I just don't want to admit it. Lord Shayu, we checked those two secret strongholds thoroughly, but we still couldn't find Orochimaru. Looking for me? Ha, I'm here, Orochimaru sneered. Ha, everyone was shocked at the same time when they heard the familiar hoarse tone. Is this woman in front of me Orochimaru? The last time I saw him was when he replaced Danzo's Sharingan arm at the Root Organization base. We haven't seen each other for just a year and a half. Has it changed so much? While the Gen members were still shocked, Shayu had already walked up to them and asked coldly. Who do you belong to? Ah, Sir Shayu, what do you mean? Didn't you hear it clearly? Then let me ask again, who are you from? Boom, huge chakra spurted out from Shayu's body. This aura is enough to be suffocating. Not only the members of the Root, but even Hashirama and Tobirama could not help showing surprise. It can only be described as terrifying. We are Lord Shayu's people, and we promise to swear allegiance to him until death. Well, very good. Shayu retracted his chakra, smiled and helped the captain of the Root Organization in front of him up. Let's go, come back to the village with us, in half an hour, we should be there. Half an hour later, Konoha village has arrived. The sun has just risen and a new day has begun. Looking at the village not far away that they had built with their own hands, Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama couldn't help but feel a little emotional. Decades have passed, but the village as a whole has not changed much. Yes, it looks so friendly. Who is the portrait of the young man at the end of Hokage Rock? Jiraiya quickly responded. He is my apprentice Namikaze Minato, the fourth Hokage, but he fought against the rampaging Kyuubi 8 years ago to protect the village, and finally sealed the Kyuubi with his life. Just seal a little Kyuubi and die. Hashirama shook his head helplessly, feeling a little uncomfortable in his heart. Seeing Senju Hashirama's reaction, Jiraiya smiled awkwardly. Kionju Feijian folded his hands around his chest. Brother, how many times have I told you not to be so upright? Not everyone can compare with you and protect the village from the Kyuubi at the cost of your own life. Namikaze Minato, I recognize this young man. Jiraiya smiled and said, second generation Sama, Minato's Flying Thunder God technique is very good, and it is called Yellow Flash by the world. Oh, Tobirama was a little surprised. The Flying Thunder God technique requires the caster to have extremely high chakra, which ordinary people can't bear. I never thought there would be a descendant who could inherit my mantle. If there is a chance, I really want to meet him. After saying that, Tobirama looked directly at Orochimaru, with an indescribable meaning in his eyes. Orochimaru instantly understood what Tobirama meant and said with a wry smile. You want me to use the Earth reincarnation to summon Minato? Tisk tisk, I don't care, I just need sacrifices. In my territory, I can use the lives of my subordinates. In Konoha, if I use the lives of the villagers, sacrifice, I guess the two adults will not allow it. Tobirama, we'll discuss it later, let's go to the village first. At the gate of Konoha village, Shenchuyan and Gang Ziti were still guarding the gate. Look, Jiraiya-sama and Tsunade-sama are back. Those two people next to you, why do they look familiar? Idiot, how can you forget the faces of the first and second generations? Report this weird thing to the third Hokage. The group walked into the village and walked slowly along the street towards the Hokage building. Passers-by on both sides of the street couldn't help but stop, all focused on Hashirama and Tobirama, and started talking about them. Am I not dazzled? Those two uncles look like the heads on the Hokage rock. It's not like that, it's all made from the same mold. What the hell happened this early in the morning? I must have gotten up so hard, I need to go home and lie down for a while. The Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hiruzen was in a good mood, enjoying his first cup of strong tea in the morning, quietly waiting for the return of his two beloved disciples. Counting the time, it's almost time to come back. At this time, an Anbu suddenly appeared in the office. Hokage-sama. Jiraiya-sama and Tsunade-sama are back. Oh, good, let them come to me in the office. Hokage-sama, there are others who are back. Huh, who else? Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. This was different from what was planned. And Uchiha Natsuha, members of the root organization. A woman who looks like Orochimaru, and the first Hokage and the second Hokage. What? Sarutobi Hiruzen was so shocked that he almost stopped holding the hot tea in his hand. What nonsense are you talking about? Sir, I really read it right. While he was talking, Shen Chuyan rushed into the Hokage's office in a panic. Hokage-sama, I saw the first Sama and the second Sama. They have entered the village. Seeing the security guard at the door reporting the same thing, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart sank. He couldn't sit still, so he directly picked up the shadow hat on the table, put it on his head and walked out the door. As soon as they walked out of the gate on the first floor, they saw Senju Hashirama and his group already at the door. Quote exclamation mark quote. When Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Hashirama and Tobarama, he immediately found clues in the eyes of the two adults. This is the reincarnated body of dirty soil. The only one who can use this technique is Orochimaru, who stole the earth reincarnation from the forbidden jutsu room. How did things develop like this? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked confused, and began to feel uneasy in his heart. Monkey, you are getting old. Their eyes met, and before Sarutobi Hiruzen could speak, Senju Hashirama greeted with a smile. Last time I saw you, you were still a very energetic young man. First generation, sir, teacher, you. Sarutobi Hiruzen took off the shadow hat that symbolized his identity, and a few tears instantly burst out of his eyes. I'm so happy to see you two adults again. During your absence, I will remember you all the time. Haha, let's go up first and have a chat in your office. Ah, okay. Several people entered the Hokage's office. Bang. Senju Hashirama closed the office door tightly. Seeing this abnormal behavior, Sarutobi Hiruzen became increasingly uneasy, and his grip on the shadow hat in his hands became tighter and tighter. How is the village now? Hashirama jumped straight into the topic with a serious expression and asked softly. Sarutobi Hiruzen was startled and quickly responded. Well, the village is very prosperous, everyone lives well, and under the inheritance of the will of the two adults, the village has also cultivated many young and excellent ninjas. Oh, what about the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan? Are there any excellent ninjas? Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart clicked, and he finally understood why Hashirama was so angry. These two clans. Of course there are excellent ninjas, right in front of you. The representative of the Senju clan is your most beloved granddaughter Tsunade, and the representative of the Uchiha clan is that Uchiha Shayu. Besides the representatives, are there others? Sarutobi Hiruzen's forehead was sweating. He really didn't know what reason to answer this question. In the Hokage's office, it was terribly quiet. Everyone's eyes fell on Sarutobi Hiruzen, waiting for him to explain this matter. Tobarama shouted coldly. Monkey, you should say something. It doesn't matter, just say whatever you want to say, I believe you. Sarutobi Hiruzen wiped the sweat from his forehead, sighed, and told all the reasons why the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan declined. What he said was exactly the same as what Hashirama and Tobarama had heard before. The root of all the problems fell on Danzo. After listening to Sarutobi Hiruzen's explanation, Senju Hashirama shook his head helplessly. Hiruzen, Danzo screwed the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan so badly, why did you stand by and watch? Or, this was actually planned by you? Sir, I really don't know these things. If I knew in advance that Danzo was going to kill Senju and Uchiha, how could I ignore it? Everyone knows Danzo's character now. He has always wanted to overthrow me and become Hokage all his life. I remembered our childhood friendship and did not blame him. I thought he would change this, but who would have thought that he would secretly get worse? Quote, this may be my dereliction of duty, and I admit this crime, but I will never accept it if Danzo and I are reduced to the same person. Sarutobi Hiruzen's words were resounding and his face was magnanimous. The Senju clan has always been the target of Danzo's fear. He is afraid that after I abdicate, outstanding ninjas will appear in the clan and become his competitors. So, he indirectly eliminated many Senju clan members through the research on Hashirama cells and the previous two wars. The only remaining Senju clan member was Tsunade. Because she had no interest in Naruto, and she was my apprentice, Danzo didn't attack her. As for the Uchiha clan, the Nine Tails went berserk 8 years ago. Danzo thought it must be the fault of the Uchiha clan's Sharingan, but no evidence was found afterwards. I thought it would be settled, but what I didn't expect was that Danzo would secretly collude with Itachi Uchiha to bloodbath the Uchiha clan. After the Dongchuang incident, Danzo kept saying it was for Konoha. In fact, I know that he only wanted to compete with me to improve his strength. Danzo not only transplanted several Sharingan eyes into himself, but also transplanted Lord Hashirama's cells. These are all evidence of his crime. If I had known these things in advance, I would never have let him do this. My lords, please believe me. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen's firm expression, Senju Hashirama pondered for a moment and asked, "Do you really know nothing?" "Of course, you two adults should understand who I am. I am the Hokage of Konoha. If I kill the people of the village, do I still deserve to be called Hokage?" "Well," Senju Hashirama nodded, "it seems that you really don't know anything. I blamed you wrongly, monkey." "No, first generation Sama, in the final analysis, the responsibility is also mine." Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, and the hand that tightly held the shadow hat finally relaxed a little. He thought it was over. At best, it's a cover-up crime, and it's a case of ignorance. It shouldn't have any impact on one's status. But how could Uchiha Shayu let him go? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to ruin Sarutobi Hiruzen's reputation today. Shayu slowly walked to the window, opened it, and waved. "Shayu, what are you going to do? This is my office, and you won't be allowed to do whatever you want." Sarutobi Hiruzen was angry. Being an old and cunning person, he had already guessed that the fact that he was being questioned by 2 long-dead adults today must have been caused by this kid, in order to seek an explanation for the Uchiha clan. "I thought that all threats would be eliminated today, but I didn't expect that the threats were not eliminated, and instead, I brought back 2 ancestors." If the 2 adults weren't present, Sarutobi Hiruzen would have taken action long ago. He tried his best to control the murderous intention in his heart. "Close the window quickly, this is my office. He, wait a moment, the person I'm waiting for will fly over soon. You also know this person." As soon as I finished speaking, I heard crows calling from outside the window. "Gah, gah," a black crow flew into the house, and then its figure began to transform, gradually turning into the appearance of Uchiha Itachi. Itachi. Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked to see Itachi's appearance. He didn't expect Uchiha Natsuyu to still keep in touch with Itachi. "Oh, another Uchiha is here." Senju Tobarama narrowed his eyes slightly. "This should not be the true form." "Yes," Senju Hashirama responded. "This special crow is the exclusive medium of the Uchiha clan. Only the geniuses among geniuses can master it. When I was a child, I saw the Uchiha clan use it, but only once. That's all." When Uchiha Itachi saw these great gods beside him, he was stunned for a moment, and then asked softly, "Shayu, what does this mean?" Itachi's crow has been staying in the village as a means of communication between Shayu and Itachi. As long as Shayu takes the initiative to greet him, the crow will fly over. In fact, Itachi wanted to stuff the crow into Shayu's mouth at first, so that communication would be more convenient, but it was a pity that Shayu refused to let him go. Tell the truth in front of the 2 previous Hokages, Itachi. The truth about the genocide 2 years ago. Hearing Shayu's words, Uchiha Itachi looked around. When he saw Sarutobi Hiruzen's fierce gaze, he asked Shayu, "Are you serious?" Shayu nodded. "Well, don't worry, if you say it boldly, Sasuke will be fine. Believe me, everything I do is to make your brother live a better life in the future. You don't have to worry." Uchiha Itachi's pupils shrank, he lowered his head and thought for a moment, then quietly said, "In that case, let me just let you see it for yourself. Sirs, I want to use illusion. I hope you won't use chakra to break it. I have no hostility." As soon as he finished speaking, Itachi's eyes suddenly turned scarlet. In the blink of an eye, everyone present was brought into Itachi's illusion world. In the screen, the secret conversation between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Itachi's undercover identity, Itachi's joint massacre with the mysterious masked man, and the finishing blows of Root and Anbu are all revealed one by one. Sarutobi Hiruzen's true nature was revealed at this moment. Although a long time passed in the illusion world, it was just a snap of a finger in reality. After just a few seconds, everyone's consciousness returned to reality from the illusion world. At the moment the illusion ended, Uchiha Itachi trembled and leaned against the wall and groaned weakly. I am not the real body. There is not much chakra left to maintain this crow. After leaving the illusion, everyone has not come back to their senses. They can't believe that the person who colluded with Uchiha Itachi in Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth was not Danzo, but himself. Sarutobi Hiruzen was really panicked at this moment. You don't believe those pictures just now. These are all forged by Itachi. Itachi, why did you do this to me? Jiraiya was also a little at a loss. The experience just now was too real, so real that it seemed so reasonable when combined with everything now. Teacher, so you, or really the one hiding behind the scenes? Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a deep voice. No, these are all fake, Jiraiya, even you don't believe me. Sarutobi Hiruzen, are you still stubborn? Shayu really couldn't stand Sarutobi's thick skin, he was ready to use his last trump card. Let's go to the cemetery, as long as we call Danzo out, everything will be clear. Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked, and he remembered that there was also the trick of Impure world reincarnation. Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart sank to the bottom of the valley instantly. Shayu turned to look at the shocked Hashirama and Tobirama, and reminded them, 2 adults, let's go. Wait a minute, Tobirama raised his hand suddenly, his expression was extremely serious. He glanced at his elder brother Hashirama and found that Hashirama was looking at him with the same eyes. Didn't you notice in the illusion world just now? That mysterious masked man claimed to be Uchiha Madara. That Madara guy, is he still alive? Uchiha Madara. Except Shayu and Uchiha Itachi, everyone was stunned. Tsunade. I remember, it's the guy wearing a leopard mask. Jiraiya. It looks like tiger skin. Orochimaru. It doesn't matter what it is, that's not the point. Uchiha Itachi. The first time I met him was in the woods around the village. This guy really called himself Uchiha Madara and invited me to join his organization after slaughtering the clan. Senju Tobirama. Well, I'm sure he is Uchiha Madara. That hairstyle, that voice, I will never forget it in my life. No, Senju Hashirama smiled and shook his head. Although both his appearance and voice are disguised perfectly, I am the one who knows Madara the best. I can hear that he is not Madara, absolutely not, no objection. Quote. Seeing his elder brother's affirmation, Senju Tobirama finally let go of his worries. However, just in case, he asked Orochimaru, have you used this Impure world reincarnation on Madara? Orochimaru shook his head, no. I have this plan, but I haven't found his body yet. Senju Tobirama advised, give up this idea now. Uchiha Madara knows this technique very well. If you use it on him, you will definitely regret it. Besides, I hid Madara's body, so it's normal that you can't find it. After reminding Orochimaru, Senju Tobirama turned his head and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was standing there with a nervous look. Monkey, although I am just an Impure world reincarnation, I still have the ability to distinguish right from wrong. What the Uchiha Crow kid showed just now, are they really slandering you? Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to explain, but Tobirama interrupted him immediately. Monkey, the only people I valued the most were you and Danzo. The reason I chose you as my successor was because I felt that day that you had a heart that was willing to sacrifice your life for the village and your compatriots at any time. As for Danzo, I sensed that he had a dark side and was occasionally selfish, but I am sure of one thing, that is, he would never lie to me. This is exactly the only reason why I value him. He worships me, believes in my will, and does things in a stern and efficient manner without dragging his feet. If I see him later, I will choose to believe what he says. Before that, I will ask you one last time, are those things in the illusion world just now true? Although this speech was not much, it almost destroyed Sarutobi Hiruzen's psychological defenses. Facing the soul-searching question from his former teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen lowered his arms and gave up struggling. It's true. I admit that I do have selfish motives. From childhood to adulthood, I have always worked hard, hoping that one day I can be stronger than everyone else, so that people will know that even if I don't have the blessing of a strong bloodline, I can overcome everything through my own efforts. That day, I became Hokage as I wished, and I thought I would be recognized by everyone, but the Senju and Uchiha clansmen didn't take me seriously at all. In their eyes, I am not qualified at all. I don't have the Uchiha clan's nearly invincible Sharingan, nor the Senju clan's unusually large chakra. I can only become Hokage by luck. They say that Konoha the Hokage can only be Senju or Uchiha. In order to keep myself in the position of Hokage, I strengthened my political achievements on the surface, tolerated all clans, and treated everyone with a warm heart. In secret, I used Danzo's utilitarianism to suppress the Senju and Uchiha clans. The Uzumaki clan, a distant relative of the Senju clan, is also the same. On the eve of the Second Shinobi World War, all countries began to unite to suppress the Uzumaki clan because they were afraid of the powerful sealing power of the Uzumaki clan. Although I did not participate, I did not lend a helping hand, even though I knew that the Uzumaki clan had helped Konoha a lot. Just like that, the Uzumaki clan was destroyed, and the Senju clan was also exhausted due to years of war and transplant experiments. There is only one Uchiha left. But unfortunately, after the Third Ninja World War, I lost the support of the people because of my compromise with Iwagakure, so I had to take the initiative to give in. But power is something that is hard to let go once you have tasted it. A few years ago, on the day when the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki gave birth, the Nine-Tails went berserk. At the moment of the berserk, the head of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku, took the initiative to find me, hoping to let the Uchiha clan participate in the battle and use the power of the Sharingan to protect the village, but I refused. I arranged the Uchiha clan members who were in the police department to assist in evacuating and protecting the masses, and I didn't want them to take the credit. Let the Uchiha clan get the credit. I can't accept it. It's my personal. I also suspect that the rampage of the Nine-Tails is related to them. In the end, Minato and Kushina died, my wife died, and a large number of elite ninjas and innocent villagers died. In the end, I became Hokage again. The first thing I did after returning to the position of Hokage was to deal with the Uchiha clan. This Nine-Tails incident is a great opportunity. You already know what happened next, just like what you just saw in the illusion world. I used Itachi to massacre the Uchiha clan. The last threat was finally eliminated. Although Danzo is occasionally dishonest, he is not a threat to me. I thought I could enjoy the rest of my life, but he popped up. When he said this, Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his hand and pointed coldly at Uchiha Shayu. I never would have thought that a loser who could only think with his lower body and was yelled at and beaten by everyone in the Uchiha clan would one day become my biggest threat. This plan, I thought I would eradicate you. Haha, it seems that I underestimated you. Danzo actually didn't commit suicide. He was killed by me. Before he died, he told me to pay attention to you, Uchiha Natsuyu. Alas, it's a pity that everything is too late. The day you stopped holding back and summoned Susanoo to release powerful chakra, I actually knew that. I was no match for you. Uchiha Shayu, I don't know how you became stronger, and I don't know how old you were when you started to use the image of a pervert to disguise your strength. I just want to say, you're cruel. You are cruel. After saying these words, Sarutobi Hiruzen slowly took out a sharp kunai from behind and pointed it at his heart. 5 seconds passed. He hasn't made a move yet. Hashirama, Tobirama, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru didn't say anything, didn't react at all, they just looked at him expressionlessly, with nothing but indifference in their eyes. Because of him, the 3 major ninja clans that have been passed down since ancient times almost all died. For a person who makes disguise a habit, once everything is exposed, trust will no longer exist. No matter what he does, others will not believe him. Even if it looks like suicide. Seeing that none of his ancestors, his teacher, and his 3 beloved disciples came forward to stop him, Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head and said with a self-deprecating smile. Haha, I have really failed in my life. After another 5 seconds. The scene remains the same. Well, Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand. PFF'd. The kunai in his hand stabbed hard into his chest. I'm sorry, teacher, I feel ashamed of your cultivation. Today, I will die to atone for my sins. These words were Sarutobi Hiruzen's last words. When Sarutobi Hiruzen fell, Senju Tobarama's eyes finally showed a hint of sadness, but more disappointment and self-blame. I didn't expect that I would make a mistake before. The Senju clan, the Uchiha clan, and the Uzumaki clan would be in the predicament they are in today. I have a certain responsibility. Brother, Before Tobarama could finish speaking, Hashirama patted his younger brother's shoulder. Let him let go of what is in the past and start over. Jiraiya, make an announcement to the public. The third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, confessed to committing suicide today. Everything he just confessed must be written clearly. The villagers have the right to know the culpability of each crime. Jiraiya nodded. Looking at the body of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Senju Hashirama sighed. Bury the monkey in the Hokage cemetery. No matter what, he still made contributions to the village. In the following time, as the announcement was made, everyone in the village was extremely shocked to learn that the third Hokage had committed suicide and the various responsibilities were revealed. Yamanaka Kaiichi. I see. No wonder the third generation behaved so strangely during the interrogation of Danzo. Shikaku, you guessed it right. The real culprit behind the scenes is indeed the third generation. Nara Shikaku. Yes, although I tried my best to deny my guess at the time, the truth is often so cruel. Akamichi Tingza. If we, Anarikacho, threaten the status of the third generation, do you think he will attack us? Yamanaka Haiichi. If it's him, he will definitely do it. Fortunately, the ninjutsu of our three clans is mainly auxiliary. Nara Shikaku. Actually, from the day Hitaki Tsukumo committed suicide, I have already seen clearly the character of the third generation. The death of senior Tsukumo is inseparable from him. Alas, the prestige of Konoha Whitefang in this world at that time and the name is higher than the third generation. Yamanaka Kaiichi. Perhaps it is the original sin that surpasses the master with great achievements. Akamichi Dingza. I really want to know now, who will be the fifth generation Hokage? Shikaku, maybe you can have a role. Haha, don't be ridiculous. I don't have the qualifications, and I don't have that idea. Instead of dealing with troublesome government affairs every day, I might as well assist the Hokage safely and be an ordinary little think tank. I just want to live a stable life. While everyone was discussing, several figures faintly appeared on the top floor of the Hokage building. Look, that's the first Hokage, and the second Hokage. Holy crap, it's actually true. My mother told me that she saw two ancestors on the street this morning. I thought she had Alzheimer's disease. What happened? Did I get violent again? Go back and lie down for a while. Everyone, please be quiet for a moment. Don't panic. In the stands, Qian Shu Toijian was the first to speak. I believe everyone should know me. My name is Senju Tobarama, and I am the second generation Hokage of the village. Next to me is my elder brother Senju Hashirama, the first generation Hokage who founded Konoha village. We are not resurrected from the dead, nor are we ghosts. We are just briefly recalled from the Pure Land to the present world by a super difficult and extremely technical technique. Just now, my disciple Sarutobi Hiruzen confessed everything to me. The decline of the Senju clan and the annihilation of the Uchiha clan were all his actions behind the scenes, while Shimura Danzo was the one responsible for the external affairs. Knife. My eldest brother and I are deeply saddened by this. My eldest brother's original intention of establishing the ninja village was to unite all the tribes and there would be no more wars. The village is home. But unexpectedly, Hiruzen took advantage of his position to extend his poisonous hand to himself, people. As Sarutobi Hiruzen's teacher, I want to say, I'm sorry to the souls of those who died at the hands of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Kionju Tobarama lowered his head and bowed deeply. After apologizing, Senju Hashirama spoke slowly. Today, I want to announce the candidate for the fifth Hokage. This person is trustworthy and will never make the mistakes of Sarutobi Hiruzen. After saying that, Senju Hashirama turned his head and reminded with a smile, come here, Shaozuna. Tsunade became the fifth Hokage of Konoha village. This was just decided by everyone behind the scenes. At first, Senju Hashirama wanted Uchiha Natsuha to take over. He felt ashamed of the Uchiha clan. After all, the village was founded by Senju and Uchiha together. After all, the Uchiha clan should be allowed to be Hokage. However, Shayu politely refused. Shayuji is not here, and only he knows his true purpose. That is to spread the seeds of Uchiha all over the entire shinobi world. I don't want to be Hokage, I just want to marry Hokage. This was Shayu's reason for declining. Jiraiya is also not interested in Hokage. He has been dissolute in his life, and now the woman he loves most, the brother he cares about most, and the teacher he respects most have all left him one after another. He is a little sad and has no intention of becoming Hokage. I don't want to do anything right now, I just want to cherish the people in front of me. The only person I cherish now is one. That's Naruto Uzumaki. As a lonely person, I want to live with him and hold each other together for warmth. In the end, Tsunade had to take over as the 5th Hokage. In terms of status, qualifications, and skills, Tsunade was good at everything. The most important thing is that she is from the Thousand Hands clan. The two consultants, Kaharu and Mito Manabu, had no objections at all. Senju Hashirama, Menyon, Kaharu, and Suna are my most beloved granddaughters. You must help her well. If she is willful occasionally, you must remind her when you should. Menyan and Xiaochun nodded quickly. Don't worry, first-generation master, we will try our best to assist. After explaining the matter of Hokage, Senju Hashirama called Uchiha Natsuyu to him, patted Shayu's shoulder with his left hand, and patted Tsunade's shoulder with his right hand. With a slight force, he pressed the two together, showing it to all the villagers, in front of them. One last thing, I announce, the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan are going to get married. As soon as these words came out, the whole place exploded. The marriage between the two most powerful families has never happened before. Senju Hashirama on the stage was all smiles, he was very happy. His wish finally came true. The centuries-old dispute between the Uchiha clan and the Senju clan will completely turn into friendship today. We truly became a family. Shayu, Xiaogang, pick a day and see when is the best time to get married. Shayu responded, how about today? Tsunade nodded repeatedly, agree. I agree. She couldn't bear it any longer. If her grandfather hadn't been by her side, she would have pressed Shayu to the ground and rubbed her several times. Ah, today, not so good. Senju Hashirama looked confused. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen had just died. Getting married on the enemy's Memorial Day is a good habit that I, Uchiha, have maintained in the past 2 years. Lord Hashirama. No, Grandpa, you just agree. Senju Hashirama laughed when he heard that Shayu changed his name and called him Grandpa. Ha ha ha, okay, then we'll get married today. After burying Sarutobi Hiruzen, the wedding started immediately, along with the inauguration ceremony of the 5th Hokage. With the blessings of the whole village and Hashirama and Tobarama, Shayu and Tsunade officially became husband and wife. I thought this wedding would be extremely grand, but because of the haste of the incident, there was no time to prepare, and both of them could not hold back. After toasting a few glasses of wine to their loved ones, Tsunade and Shayu prepared to enter the bridal chamber and finish the wedding hastily. Grandpa, Uncle, don't worry, I will definitely work with Shayu to revive the Uchiha and Senju clans. No, now it should be said that we are the same clan. In order to revive the glory of the Uchiha Senju clan, we are going to start by giving birth to children like crazy. There were only 2 people who did not attend this wedding. One was Sarutobi Asuma. After learning that his father committed suicide, Sarutobi Asuma quietly took some of the Sarutobi clan and members of the Anbu and left Konoha village. He hated it so much. Although he also knew that all the scandals committed by his father were oppression of other tribes, the starting point was to achieve the prosperity and centralization of the Sarutobi tribe in Konoha. His girlfriend Yuhi Kurenai was taken away by Shayu. Since Shayu would take over, it means that Yuhi Kurenai's belly must have been made big by Shayu, otherwise who would marry a pregnant woman? Now his father was also forced to death. Uchiha Shayu, one day, I will take back everything that the Sarutobi tribe has lost. Asuma already has a plan. He is going to find his former companions, gather a strong force, and then take revenge on Konoha. Another person who did not attend the wedding was Shizune. Usually, as long as she is in the village, Shizune has always been inseparable from her master Tsunade. But not this time. At this time, Shizune was hiding in the depths of the alley and crying secretly. When she learned that her master Tsunade became the 5th-generation Hokage and had a candidate for marriage, she was still quite happy. But when she found out that her master's fiancé Uchiha Shayu was the handsome boy in the hospital, Shizune was in a bad mood. She felt heartbroken. She was going crazy. She didn't know why she was so obsessed with Shayu. She had only met him once, but she couldn't control herself and couldn't extricate herself. Her mind was full of him. She felt so uncomfortable when she thought of her master and Shayu being affectionate in the bridal chamber. Shizune even had the idea of forcing her way into the bridal chamber. She wanted to kidnap Shayu from the bridal chamber. If she didn't succeed, she would join decisively. Even if the master didn't agree, she would join. As the saying goes, if there are 3 people walking together, there must be my master. In short, without Shayu, she felt that she couldn't live a day. It was as if there were thousands of little slugs crawling in her body, slippery, sticky, and uncomfortable. Oh my God, I didn't expect that I would be such a sickly person. Is this the real me? Or, is this love? Shizune has lost her mind. The only antidote is Shayu. She wiped the tears from her eyes, stood up with a determined look, and looked at the bridal chamber where Shayu and Tsunade were in the distance. Break. Now. At the moment when Shizune made up her mind to walk out of the alley, perhaps because she was too anxious to walk, she didn't pay attention to the people around her, and accidentally bumped into a pedestrian on the road. Ah, the person who collided with her was Yuhi Kurenai. Fortunately, the force was not strong, and Yuhi Kurenai was not knocked to the ground. Seeing the slightly bulging belly of Yuhi Kurenai, Shizune was shocked and hurried over to help her. Kurena, how are you? Are you okay? Kurena touched her belly and smiled. It's okay. Fortunately, I have practiced. Before I collided with you, I subconsciously took a step back. No, sit down quickly, let me check with medical ninjutsu. Shizune helped Yuhi Kurenai to sit down steadily on a bench by the roadside. She gathered chakra in her palm and carefully checked it. After finding that there was nothing wrong, she breathed a sigh of relief. Kurenai Yuhi comforted her. Hee, Shizune, you don't have to be so nervous. I'm a ninja after all, and my body is not that bad. Shizune felt guilty. I have to check it just in case. Sorry, I bumped into you. I'm fine, but you look absent-minded. Are you worried about something? Tell me. Ah, Shizune sighed. The person I like got married today, and the bride is not me. Kurenai Yuhi was shocked. Oh, you have someone you like. Yeah, Shizune's cheeks instantly became hot, and she nodded shyly. Kurenai Yuhi and Shizune were the same age. They were good friends when they were young, but Tsunade took little Shizune away a few years after the end of World War II. Although they have been separated for many years, the friendship between Kurenai Yuhi and Shizune is still alive. Wait, you said the person you like is getting married today, could that person be? Yeah, his name is Uchiha Shayu. I'm embarrassed to say it, I don't know him, I only met him once, and it's just my unrequited love. Sure enough, Shihi Hong chuckled. Shizune, guess who my husband is? He happens to be getting married today. Ah, it can't be Uchiha Shayu, right? Who else can it be if not him? Shayu is a very good man, it's normal for you to like him, which woman would not like him? Shizune heard this, and hope rekindled in her eyes. Hong, can I ask you for a favor? Yeah, you say. Can you introduce me to Shayu when you have time? Actually, I have thought about asking my master Tsunade, but I know her temper and I am afraid she will not agree. Hee. Shihi Hong smiled helplessly. No need to be so troublesome, it's not your fault. You have just returned to the village for a few days. It seems that you don't know that if you want to be Shayu's wife, you can go directly to the Uchiha clan for an interview. Shizune was stunned. Interview. There is such a thing. Of course, the Uchiha clan is in the process of building a clan, and Shayu has always used this kind of open recruitment method to marry wives and concubines. Otherwise, do you think these thousands of wives are obtained through meeting, knowing, and falling in love? That would be exhausting. And you don't have to worry about Tsunade's opinion. Since she is willing to marry Shayu, who already has a family, she will naturally not care who will marry in the future. Knowing this, Shizune was overjoyed and hurriedly got up and ran away. Wait, where are you going, Shizune? I'm going to fill out my resume at the Uchiha clan. Thank you, Hong. From now on, we'll go from being good friends to being a family. The news that Tsunade became the 5th Hokage and got married quickly spread throughout the ninja world. As the most powerful ninja village in the 5 countries, Konoha has always been the focus of attention from all walks of life. It is difficult for others to know about the changes in leadership. The Country of Thunder, Union Village. Looking at the urgently delivered information, the 4th Hokage felt mixed emotions in his heart. The 3rd Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, passed away and Konoha lost a major battle force. He was indeed very happy. But seeing Tsunade getting married, he was a little depressed. Tsunade, I misjudged you. I clearly thought that we were the same kind of people. We both worshipped strength, liked a strong life, and thought that we were the most suitable candidates for each other. But you actually married a pretty boy. Ha, boring. The 3rd Hokage chanted Uchiha Natsuyu's name over and over again in his heart. Uchiha Natsuyu, we will meet one day, and I want to see why you can make Tsunade fall in love with you. The Country of Earth, Iwagakure Village. Onoki wandered back and forth in the Tsuchikage's office alone, his expression heavy. Regarding the death of Sarutobi Hiruzen, he still felt a little regretful in his heart. Now, it seems that I am the only one left among the older generation. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I thought you would die before me, but I never thought you would die so early. Haha, alas, the Country of Wind, Sand-Hidden Village. Although the 4th Hokage Rasa was a little surprised by the changes in the Hokage of Konoha village, he had no time to care about it at this time. Right now, there was something that gave him an even bigger headache. That was his son, Gaara, who was only 8 years old. Since the death of his wife's brother Yoshimaru, Gaara went berserk. Seeing the failure of his plan, Rasa decided that Gaara was a failed Jinchuriki who could not control Shukaku. There are such dangerous and unstable factors in the village, and he is worried about the safety of the village all the time. Therefore, Luo Sha sent assassins to assassinate his son several times, but they all failed. But he doesn't want to give up. After reading the information, he said to the subordinate next to him, "Write a letter for me and congratulate Konoha on the new cage in the name of Tsunagakure village. In addition, send 10 more assassins to assassinate Gaara tonight. This time, they must succeed." The Country of Water, the Hidden Mist Village. When Tsunade took office, big things were happening here. The 4th Mizukage Godachibana Yagura passed away unexpectedly. However, this news was not known to outsiders. Under the seclusion of the country, all the information was buried in the village, and no trace of it could be revealed. After the death of Nohara Rin, Shikura sealed the 3 tails that reappeared in the Kingdom of Water in his body, and became a perfect Jinchuriki. Unfortunately, he was later controlled by the illusion. Later Terumi Mei asked Ao to use his white eyes to see through and remove the illusion, and the village also finally got a moment of peace. Now that Shikang has passed away, the village is once again leaderless. Everyone supported Terumi Mei as the leader. After all, she was the one who saved the 4th Mizukage, and her behavior was very popular, and she was kind and kind. She was also the owner of 2 kinds of inheritance limits, whether it was strength, merit or appearance. Value, all have the qualifications to be the 5th generation Mizukage. But Terumi Mei politely refused. She believes that she is still young and has little qualifications. The current position of being in charge of the village should first be handed over to the elder, Yuenshi. Seeing Terumi Mei's insistence, Genshi had no choice but to nod in agreement. Terumi Mei, the smog in the village has not yet been completely resolved. During this period, I will give you the power to renovate the village. It can also be regarded as accumulating some governance experience for you to take over the position of Mizukage in the future. Don't worry, Elder Yuenshi, I will do my best to change Kurigakure village back to what it used to be. Currently, the 5th Hokage of Konoha village in the Land of Fire has just taken office, and I feel it is necessary to send him to Kurigakure in the name of Kurigakure. The last letter of congratulations is a sign that the Kingdom of Water is opening its doors. Well, that's a good idea, just do what you want. The secret base of the Akatsuki organization. Several members of the organization gathered again. From the looks of it, there was a high probability that they were going to have a meeting. Pain. The latest news is that Tsunade, one of the 3 ninjas, has become the 5th Hokage. Hidan plucked his ears and complained in disgust. This matter has been spread all over the streets. Are you going to call us together to notify us of the meeting? Pain. Of course it's not just this one thing, there are several other pieces of important information that you can't hear outside. Kisame was a little curious. What news? Ju Yin smiled and interjected. He, let me explain. Let me tell you in advance, you will definitely be surprised. Zetsu cleared his throat in a mysterious manner, with a gossipy expression on his face. Orochimaru, I'm pregnant. Quote. As soon as this news came out, the atmosphere in the entire organization was surprisingly cold, and the members remained expressionless. Ju was stunned when he saw this. Strange, why aren't you surprised? Uchiha Itachi. Kisame. I'm not familiar with Orochimaru, so I don't care about his affairs. Red Sand Scorpion. Don't say Orochimaru is pregnant, I wouldn't be surprised even if he gave birth to a snake man. That guy always likes to conduct some boring human experiments. I guess the research project during this period may be transgender reproduction. Deidara pouted and snorted. HMPH, it's true that disgusting people like to do disgusting things. The last time I saw him, I saw that guy walking with a sinister air, and I had already begun to doubt his gender, Quote. Hidan yelled at Pain. Boss. Didn't you say before that you would find a chance to kill this traitor? Let me go, I want to experience the pain of killing 2 lives for 1 corpse. Killing 1 life can offer 2 sacrifices. The evil god will definitely remember me. Kakuzu. I agree. Orochimaru's head is very valuable. I have wanted to kill him for a long time. Pain shook his head. No, we have more important things to do. There are many tasks at hand now. There is no time to deal with him. Z. How about Conan, how is she recently? Pain. She is fine. In a few months, the baby will be born. Deidara was very excited. Leader, I am going to take a leave on the day Conan enters the delivery room. I want to see what color is this child's hair. Pain. No need to ask for leave, everyone must be present on that day. As members of the organization, you must be by your companion's side when he gives birth. Red Sand Scorpion. HMPH, boring enough. Kakuzu. If I delay for a day, I will make a lot less money. Feeden. Tisk. Compared to witnessing the birth of new life around me, I still prefer to watch life die. Uchiha Itachi. Kisame. Chief, can I not come? I'm not interested in women giving birth. Pain's eyes flashed with a hint of sternness, and he responded coldly. No, every one of you must be present. This is an order. Faye, what are you laughing at? Including you. The next day, early in the morning, Tsunade headed to the Hokage building with a glowing face. After getting married, my overall temperament has changed. Along the way, Tsunade took the initiative to smile and say hello to everyone. With the nourishment of the second spring, the original haze seemed to have disappeared a lot. As soon as she entered the office door, she found that her grandfather Senju Hashirama and her uncle were already waiting for her here. In the corner, there was Orochimaru standing. Orochimaru, why aren't you leaving? Are you trying to steal Shayu from me? I told you in advance that Shayu is mine these days. He already promised me this morning. Tsunade was surprised that Orochimaru was still in Konoha. Haha, who wants to snatch that guy from you? Orochimaru said helplessly. I want to leave, but these 2 adults won't let me. They insist on making me wait for them for a whole day. As he spoke, he pointed at Hashirama and Tobirama, who were sitting on the sofa. Tobirama coughed lightly. Ahem. Shaozuna, sit down first. Tobirama and I have something to tell you. Also, can you not be so explicit when you speak in front of me? I was a little excited just now. Grandpa, Uncle, Grandpa, just pretend you didn't hear, haha. Tsunade smiled awkwardly and sat on the Hokage's seat obediently. If you have anything to say, just tell me. I will definitely listen to what Grandpa says. Well, we came to say goodbye to you. Farewell. Tsunade, who had just sat on the chair, stood up instantly and said in shock, you want to leave? Tobirama nodded. Yes, I was planning to leave after the wedding yesterday. I didn't expect that you and Shayu ran away after only 5 minutes on stage. In the end, they didn't even come out of the bridal chamber for the whole day. My eldest brother and I had to wait for you until now, thinking say goodbye to you properly. Orochimaru interjected with a sinister smile. I was making a bet with the two adults just now. My guess was that you wouldn't come to work today. After all, as far as I know, middle-aged people are relatively wolves and tigers. Tisk tisk. It seems that your addiction is not that big. Okay, you told me not to talk about this kind of topic in front of me. Senju Hashirama waved his hand in disgust. Orochimaru, send us both back. After saying goodbye, it's time to leave this world. Grandpa, please don't leave. Can't you stay and witness Shayu and I revive the Senju and Uchiha clan? Tsunade said with a look of reluctance. Senju Hashirama walked up to Tsunade, smiled and rubbed Tsunade's hair. Silly granddaughter, Tobirama and I do not belong to this era. If we continue to live in this world with filthy bodies, we will bring bad things to the world. If everyone who dies in the future learns from us, then won't this world be destroyed? What a mess. I don't need to witness the future of you and Shayu. I believe you will do well. You are the hope of the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan. I'm leaving, Shao Gang. Remember to come back to me and your uncle and grandpa later. If you come to the Pure Land early in the future, we will really be angry. After finishing his words, Senju Hashirama turned to look at Orochimaru. Let's take action, it's time. Well, Orochimaru slowly closed his hands and formed a seal. The bodies of Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama gradually turned into countless dust and slowly dissipated. The souls of the two ancestors returned to the Pure Land at this moment. In the Hokage's office, there were two more unknown corpses covered with dirt. Judging from their appearance and clothing, there is a high probability that they are test subjects who failed to become cursed seals. After it was over, Orochimaru turned around and prepared to leave. Where are you going? When she just reached the door, Tsunade called her in a deep voice. Orochimaru looked back slightly. What? The old scenes between us should be enough. I'm going back. This village is not a place I like to stay for a long time. HMPH, Tsunade said directly in a commanding tone. You can leave if you want, no one will stop you, but take these two corpses away before leaving. Sorry, I'm not in the habit of cleaning up trash. I didn't ask you to clean it. Don't you still have followers you can trust? Tsunade said as she walked to the window and opened it. Come in, you're not tired of hiding outside all the time. Haha, as expected of the legendary Tsunade-sama, I can't hide anything from you. Outside the window, Yakushi Kabuto's voice came. Kabuto Yakushi flashed and appeared in front of Orochimaru the next second, respectfully asking for instructions. Lord Orochimaru, Hiruzen Sarutobi is dead. I think there is no need for me to stay in this village as an undercover agent. Your plan has ended ahead of schedule. Orochimaru smiled faintly. No, I did not push the windmill this time. The plan is not ended early, and my story is not over yet. One day, I will personally turn into a strong wind and blow the windmill called the windmills of the world. Kabuto, take the body with you, let's go. Kabuto and Orochimaru left. Ha, Tsunade breathed a deep sigh of relief, frowning slightly as she looked at the piles of documents on her desk. Shizune, where are you? I shouted for a long time, but no one responded. It's strange, where did this child go? I haven't seen her since yesterday. At this time, Uchiha Shayu had just gotten up. The moment he opened his eyes, he realized. The bed collapsed. I didn't even have time to pay attention last night. Tisk tisk, it's really different to be with someone who is strong. The craziness of this day and night really frightened Shayu. It has great stamina. Although he had the blessing of the art of long-lasting aging, for some reason, Shayu still felt an indescribable fatigue. Except for the parts that should hurt, the rest of his body hurt everywhere, with bruises and purple patches, and a few obvious bright red teeth marks and strawberries. Perhaps this is the most primitive wildness. Shayu put on his clothes, dragged his tired body out of Tsunade's house, and walked towards the Uchiha clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen is dead, and his scandals have been made public. Shayu's first wish has been fulfilled. It's time to work hard to achieve his ultimate goal. During this period, Shayu's new offspring were born every day. They were all children born by ordinary women who were not ninjas, and their scores were almost all B level and C level. The rewards given by the system were nothing more than doubling chakra and ordinary ninjutsu. The quantity is almost saturated. In terms of the current situation, it is obvious that quality is greater than quantity. To be precise, both quantity and quality are sufficient in Konoha village. You can't always rely on one place to get the wool. You can't go far just by eating grass near your home. If things continue like this, many years later, the people in Konoha village may all be your own bloodline. Unless your own bloodline voluntarily leaves their hometown and disperses to various parts of the ninja world, the consequences can be imagined. Close relatives are no different from the dead. Alas, the ninja world is so big, we have to spread out everywhere, so that the Uchiha bloodline can last long. It's not appropriate to leave the life of spreading out to future generations. They don't have the blessing of the system. I'll bear this pain alone. It's time to go out for a walk. Konoha village, at the entrance of the Uchiha clan. Shayu limped into the gate and happened to meet Yuhi Kurenai. Seeing Shayu's embarrassed look, Yuhi Kurenai covered her mouth and laughed. Good guy, it seems that Tsunade-sama has hit you hard. Kunai, stop laughing at me. If possible, I want to go to your room and give me a massage, okay? What? Back pain? You're wrong. Only my back doesn't hurt, all other parts of my body hurt. Come on, I need you to massage me now. I don't want to help you. Yuhi Kurenai pouted and turned her head away. Ah, Hong, you're not jealous, are you? Tisk, I'm not that petty. I know you're doing this for the sake of the clan, but it's the first time I've seen you being ravaged to this extent. Come on, go home with me. Yuhi Kurenai took Shayu's hand and gently rubbed the teeth marks on Shayu's arm. Hehe, I know you're the best to me. You say you won't help me, but your body is honest. What nonsense, I just want to rub the tooth marks. It would be bad if others saw me on the street. They would gossip about you being abused. Hehe, you're so considerate. The two of them went hand in hand back to Shirihong's home in the clan. As soon as they entered the house, Shayu couldn't wait to run straight to the room, ready to enjoy Shirihong's massage technique. Before he stepped into the bedroom, Shayu suddenly noticed that there was a person lying on the bed, wrapped in a quilt, with a slight snoring sound. Quote? Shayu was stunned. Who is it? Shayu was about to rush in, but Shirihong quickly grabbed him. Shish, why are you panicking? Keep your voice down, don't disturb her rest. Shirihong put her finger in front of her lips and explained softly, the person on the bed is Shizune. Ah, Shayu was shocked when she heard it. Shizune. How could she sleep in your room? Shirihong dragged Shayu to the sofa in the living room and told Shayu everything about Shizune. Yesterday, Shizune came to the Uchiha clan to fill out her resume. Because she was anxious, she stood at the door of the clan waiting for Shayu to come back, and was reluctant to leave. When Shirihong returned home in the evening, Shizune had not left yet, and her face was full of disappointment. Shizune knew that one day was not enough, and the master probably didn't plan to let her go tonight. In desperation, Shirihong took Shizune to a izakaya in the clan and watched her drink all night. After listening to Shirihong, Shayu finally understood. Shayu, do you know that Jingyan has been saying all kinds of sweet words to you all night? I always thought Jingyan was a shy person, but I didn't expect to see this side of her. She has only seen you once, and you two have never spoken to each other. She doesn't even know your name, but she can fall in love with you so wholeheartedly. Tell me, what kind of love potion did you give her? Shayu couldn't help but sigh in his heart. There is no love potion. The only thing to blame is that ninjutsu heart-to-heart art is too powerful. System, give you a thumbs up. I said that the things produced by this system must be high quality. Quality is guaranteed. Listening to the old system's smug self-congratulation, Shayu was too lazy to pay attention to him and explained to Shirihong. Where do I have any love potions? I can only say that your husband is so charming that I can't stop his luck with women. Otherwise, how could he marry such a gentle woman like you? Tisk, you're so talkative. You have so many gentle and virtuous wives. I can't compare with them. No, you are the most virtuous. Really. Of course it's true. That's good. Lie down quickly. I'll help you remove the bruises. Oh my god. Why are there so many teeth marks? Oh, I don't know. I just found it when I was getting dressed this morning. Tisk tisk. I didn't expect Tsunade-sama to have this hobby. Does it hurt? Not too painful, just a little numb. Forget it, I can't do this bruise removal job with my skills. My profession is not right. Since it's the master's fault, let her apprentice help you. Hong, what are you doing? Where are you going? Seeing Yuhi Hong leave, Shayu asked hurriedly. Yuhi Hong didn't respond and walked straight into the bedroom. After a while, several screams suddenly came from the bedroom. Ah, Hong, what did you say? Shayu is back, in the living room. No, my hair is messed up from sleeping. Do you have a comb? Lend it to me. 5 minutes later, Yuhi Hong led Shizune out of the bedroom slowly. When she saw Shayu, Jingyun's body trembled violently, and her heart was beating. In the small bedroom, the beating of the heart was particularly clear. Jingyun's face was already redder than it could be, like a little woman who just knew what love was, and she was shy behind Hong and didn't dare to speak. Seeing Jingyun like this, Shiri Hong laughed, hee. Jingyun, this is not like you. Last night at the wine table, you were talking about love one after another. Why are you silent today? Jingyun shyly grasped the corner of her clothes and stammered nervously, I just. Okay, I didn't wake you up to see you being shy. Shayu is injured and needs your help. Shayu is injured. Shizune was startled, her red face turned pale instantly, and she hurriedly walked to Shayu and checked him up and down. Where is the injury? Who is so cruel? There are 8 tooth marks on the abdominal muscles alone. Bit so many. Dog. Shayu replied with some difficulty, that, these tooth marks are actually from Tsunade. Quote. Hearing the name of the master, Shizune seemed to suddenly remember something. I seem to have said something wrong just now, you must not tell my master. Yuhi Hong smiled and said, don't worry, how could we tell such a thing to Tsunade-sama? Instead of worrying about this, you should help Shayu get rid of the bruises. Oh, okay. Shizune nodded repeatedly, using professional techniques to smooth out the wounds on Shayu's body over and over again. As time passed, Shizune's breathing was heard, and the frequency was obviously much faster. Seeing this, Yuhi Hong smiled and shook her head. Jingyun, I'm going to go out for a while. I'll probably be back in the evening. Just press it slowly. There's no rush. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.